I was really I forgot how to produce. It's like a it's like an unmuting of audio to an additional muting of audio to forgetting. I don't know what happened there, but we're fixed it, and so we're ready to go. Actually, okay, you guys go ahead and get started with like talk for a second. Yeah, you're drunk. All right, I like it. Because I got to listen to the audio on this other computer to make sure that this is not overbearing. Because I'm going to try to use music tonight. Because music sets the scene.
Music is yes.
It is the scene. Happy birthday, by the way, to Lady Havoc there, Sweet Havoc in chat. Happy birthday.
Yay for
Happy
birthdays.
birthday. His
How
drink.
old are you? How old are you today? How old are you?
You can't ask that.
Sure you can.
No,
I'm
you
old. I
can't.
can ask anybody anything. Yes, I can. I'm old as Methuselah.
Equal opportunity. Equality. That's the thing now.
Pretty sure you're not supposed to ask ladies their age.
Equality.
I feel like I'm the tiniest person here.
Yeah, they didn't
Like,
blow
in
you
the-
up, did they? They didn't like
They did
zoom
not.
in on you at all. It's like tiny and you're bigger than I am, Marshall. You're like what, about 3 inches taller than me?
I don't know. How tall are you? Or are we not supposed to ask that?
I don't know.
No, you
Can we
can't
ask
ask that. It's
Oh,
like
no, no.
asking if you have all your limbs. You just there's things you just don't ask.
I'm immune to that shit, buddy.
you have
Totally
all your
immune to
limbs?
All your
that.
ages.
So the quick question, can everybody else hear the music?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
overbearing.
Because I can't hear
I
it
can hear-
on
Well,
this one.
I think it's Roll20 music that's going because I have Twitch turned down. Otherwise, it'd be-
Yeah. Well, no, you can. All right, so you can mute the site for Twitch. You right click on the tab and you can mute the site.
yeah, that's what I've done.
Yeah. But no, I don't know why this is. It's just not. It's not showing it as playing at all. So
I have it playing in
Farrell said
Roll20.
there's music? Question mark?
yeah, there's
in
definitely
Roll20.
supposed to be.
I thought I just had a tumor.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely
hear it.
music.
Yeah, so we can all hear it, but I can't hear it on POD PC. So that's going to present a problem. One of these days, we're going to make it big, and we're going to have subscribers, and we're going to have like money of income, and
Be able to actually afford to do this right.
Does
No
the
more
POD PC
No more
even have
Franken
sound?
computer?
then we'll actually like have a producer, like somebody that's helping. And
I'll tell you what. I'll do it.
I bet you will.
Send me the computer. I'll just do it from here.
I just can't figure this out. Why is it just this one? Stand by, everyone.
Standing by.
Everybody sigh.
I know. I'm the worst.
I want to be able to put gifts in chat. I wanna put
Previously-
gifts in chat.
Previously, we had made our way to the coastline and found the ever so beautiful boat floating just offshore, and was greeted by a cobalt named, what was the cobalt's name?
That is not how that went down at all.
Yes, it is. We had a cobalt that was there.
Wasn't he like dinner?
You
or
found the boat floating offshore with the cobalt? That's
Well,
not
we
how that
found
went down.
we found the boat, and we camped out, and the storm subsided, and then we had an intruder come in that was trying to stab Krillock, and it turned out to be his cobalt.
Socks.
Yeah, Socks. There's the name. That's what I was looking for. Tell me that's exactly how it went. I remember as if it was a week ago, in a day.
God damn it, Farrell. The files are in the computer.
You look like a German DJ right now.
Do it. We're going to pump this music up.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Bubba.
I hear it. It
You're
didn't
welcome.
start when it was supposed to.
Don't forget.
But I hear it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'm glad Tennessee could give Texas their 1 star.
Whatever.
All right. I think we're good now. So yes, that is sort of kind of basically how it went down.
You want me to recap, or you got this?
Oh, I thought it was already recapped.
Yeah, I thought Tom just did. Or
Well,
thought
he
I'd-
just talked about the very last few minutes of it, but I was talking about how we went through, we slayed some disgusting, nasty lizard folk, and then we were going to go get some more, but we decided to skirt around them because there was a bunch of them. And then we get to the shore, saw the beautiful Kilbrine off in the distance, battled the storm, weathered it out, and then the next morning, Sox came up and woke me up, and everybody wanted to kill him.
And the most valuable thing, Dee Dee helped build a shelter.
Did he learn
Wow.
some life skills?
Yeah,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And
by
to be
picking
fair,
up wood.
To be
Sox was telling you to learn
fair,
by stabbing you with a knife.
That's how he wakes me up.
he was knocking on the shell. His tiny kobold hand doesn't make enough noise inside the shell. He's got to use the dagger. He's not very smart though, so he's using the blade part instead of like
He's a
the
genius, all
pommel.
right?
He's a great first mate.
He did keep the boat safe.
He's the best.
Well, this is Sock's theme song. Also, happy birthday, Havoc. Sorry, I heard everything, but I wasn't able to chime in at the time. So this is Sock's theme song. So that being said, so all that said and done, you find yourselves
Third
on the
layer.
Kilbrine. As the sun comes up, you finish your night's rest, and you find yourselves on the Kilbrine. Would you like to? I know that you did this last time, but would you like to give us a description of the Kilbrine?
It's a... Oh, shit, hold on. Oh, I'm going to have to rebind some shit here. It's very reminiscent of the Chinese pirate junks. So it's got like a cabin on the back, a very long open bow with a flag coming up with a kind of a junk flag that kind of looks, you know, like the folded, or not flag, excuse me, sail, the folded sails.
I need
the
more
in-
detail.
The
for my
interior
imagination.
has got 2 staterooms, and that's it. There is a little bit of shelter on deck to kind of, or a place to make shelter, so we might be able to throw up some makeshift tarps or something to cover you guys from the disgusting sea that we're probably about to go and battle out here. Maybe it'll keep some of the salt water off of you. And that's about it. Oh, it's got 2 cresting waves on the bow.
That's right.
And
Speaking of, do we have anybody that is proficient in religion? I feel like I need to move my camera to this other monitor.
Yes, we do. I am proficient.
look at this
I have a
monitor a
plus
lot.
5, and I am proficient in religion.
Okay, do a religion check as you're seeing the ship as you're approaching. Yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So you're familiar with the crashing waves as being the symbol of the goddess Umberlee, also known as the Sea Bitch. All right. So it's the next morning. You've all had your opportunity.
Do you worship the sea bitch? Or is it just for decoration? Or do you even know what that is? I'm going to point over the edge of the boat. Because at this point, we're on the boat. So I'm pointing over the edge of the boat. Or is this just for, like, flair? You do know what that is, I assume.
yes, it's Umberlee. We try not to call her by that name.
Well, you know, I figured that would be more fitting for a person of as rough nature as you are. But Umberlee, yes. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never would have took you for a religious type.
Not very religious on land, but when it comes to the ocean, I get very religious. Yeah. If you've ever been caught out in a disgusting storm out there, then, you know, kind of go for whatever god that'll listen to you and Sometimes she listens. Sometimes she is a spiteful woman.
Whatever it is that makes you feel better and gets you through, right? I mean, I respect it. I respect it. It's good. It's good. So, how many knots would this fine craft do with a good wind at its back?
She's the fastest.
I guess we'll see soon enough. Now, where's that kitchen?
She did the Cayman Folly running under 12 knots.
12 knots, you say?
It's pretty good.
That's you say so. I wouldn't really know what's good and what's not, but I'll trust you.
You see his Socks's head
The
pops
galley-
up where you can just see just his eyes and up, his tight fitting knitted like black watch cap like pops up, looks at you, and just kind of you see the only way you can tell what he's doing is his eyes are moving and he's shaking his head at you, Krillock.
So you said there was a galley with some provisions.
Yeah, it's if you just look over there, and I'm gonna point to like a little fire pit, like a makeshift fire pit out on the deck. There's a rusted pot, but it's a really small pot. It's enough to feed like me and Socks. There's some salt, but it's all crusted up, like you know how you normally put rice in it to keep the moisture out. It's all just crusted up, and yeah.
I think some of the things we use as furniture might be some cooking stuff. I've never really looked at it that close though.
Yeah, but do you have anything other than salt to eat?
I think my favorite chair is just like a cauldron with a cushion on it.
Is that where that went?
No? Just the one pot.
Just
It's
yeah,
kinda
just
work.
the one pot. Where's that one that you were wearing on your head earlier?
Oh, says Mr. Shellback. I don't wear pots for helmets, all right? Yeah, that's right. You better shake your head. I'm gonna get back to work. What are you doing, you lazy ass? Are we going to Hanunah or not?
Yeah, we're going. We're going. Hey, did you have any issues with lizard folk at all while you were sitting here?
Lizard folk? No. I didn't
Alright.
see anything. I said I didn't see anything since you left, except for when you came back, obviously.
Oh, you did see us then.
Well, I mean, when you came
Alright.
back, I
Just
sort of
making sure.
saw the fire, but you know, it's kind of like a heavy storm going on, and it's not like I saw you. That's why I was investigating. All sneaky like, you know.
All right. I appreciate it, Sax.
Yeah, no worries.
Provisions, food, not just salt. I mean, I can't really cook salt.
I'm gonna kind of scrape the gunnel and pull off a little bit more sea salt that's on there. How about sea salt?
I thought you said there was provisions. Fine,
Like that-
I'll go look below.
Well, there's a couple of canvas bags that we got. There's one that's got some red beans in it. There's some that's got some rice in it, and then that's pretty much it. Every now and then we get bored and we sit around and we drink some ale and fish, but that doesn't happen too often these days. Mr. All Business.
Well, we're gonna need some food, but we can get some. We'll do some fishing on the way. We'll get going, and I assume you have fishing poles.
Oh, are you the captain now?
Oh, you do what you want to. I'm just gonna. You know what?
This
We'll do some fishing once we start making way.
this got interesting. Are we vying for votes? Just kidding.
Don't you have some sales to make off there?
Yeah, I'm on it. Righto, Capitan. All right. Anything else as you guys are getting underway here?
I'm gonna be snooping around.
All right.
Looking for like a tub.
Tub, like a wash tub, like a
wash
person.
tub.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna find that on this ship. Yeah, I didn't think so. You can do some stuff. Do make an investigation check though. I do want you to make an investigation check on this because this has some serious potential for some fun. All right. So while looking around for the tub, you don't find a wash tub or a basin or anything. You find, I mean, you do find the cauldron that Sox was talking about, and it's literally just kind of shoved up on its side in a corner, and it's got a cushion laid out on one side of it, and you can tell that obviously he sits in it and reclines back in this cauldron. But aside from that, the only other interesting thing that you find is you find a crate, like a pretty big shipping crate, and as you kind of like peep it open, you see that it's absolutely full of different like knitting needles, yarn, and a lot of complete and half complete projects.
I'm gonna grab the cauldron and take it to Krillock.
All right.
Krillock, I found this.
Oh, is it bigger than the pot that I carry around with me? I would imagine it would be.
This is a stew cauldron. It's definitely bigger than that pot.
Does it? And I guess it's still got the knitting stuff in it, right?
No. The knitting stuff was in a large shipping container.
Ah, okay. This will do good. We just probably need to clean it out a little bit, but I can take care of that. And I mean, I'm gonna go look around in the galley and see what there is to cook here. And I will go and investigate throughout the galley for anything that I can scrounge up to make for breakfast as we get underway. If not, then I'm going to go fishing.
The only thing that you find on here is there is some rice, there is some beans. That they're pretty low in supply, but it's enough for everybody for probably the next 3 or 4 days if you were to have rice and beans for every meal. But there's also just like a small crate of some apples that are, there's not a whole lot of those left. There's maybe half a dozen apples left in this crate, and they're starting to get a little bit squishy.
Okay. And there's no sugar, no anything, just salt, beans, rice, and some smushy 6 apples.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the one.
All right. Well, as we get underway, I'm going to I'm gonna see if I can find some fishing poles.
Yeah.
There's 2.5 fishing poles.
2.5.
Yeah.
The half is like a tree branch with a string tied to it and a hook at the end.
That was Sox's first fishing pole.
Is it enough string to even get to the water?
Yeah.
Barely.
All right.
I used to attach fish on the bottom of it, the ones that I'd catch, and make him think he caught them. He was real little when I did that.
So
It
you
was
had
last week.
Oh. Right.
That mackerel wasn't yours, Sox. Sorry.
Sox is currently up on the sail.
Oh, never mind. He's up there. Yeah, we'll just keep that between us, though. He thinks he's a really good fisherman, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just don't use this pole, though. I'm gonna give him the one that's all rats nested up and like, here, use this one.
Do you have any bait, or am I gonna need to get some bait?
Normally I swim for my bait.
Well, you let me know what I need to do. I just need to get some fish. So, your call, Capitan.
Sometimes if you take the beans, you boil them up, get them real soft, and just mush them around the hook.
Okay. I'm gonna take a fishing rod and I'm gonna kind of throw it over, and I will use prestidigitation, and I'll keep the rod. I'll keep the hook like, about almost 10 feet underwater, where I can use sparks, and I'm gonna have sparks like around the hook, trying to get some bait fish to take a bite.
All right.
A good old flashlight.
Let's do a. Let's just do a. We'll do a survival with advantage, just because you're obviously doing some baiting up here. Yeah, you can. Through the process, it doesn't work every time that you do it. Obviously, it's not like a quick process. But how long are you planning on spending fishing?
Until I can get enough fish, enough bait fish to where I feel like I got bait fish. You know, man. So whatever it takes to get some bait fish, and then I'm going to fish for actual fish to cook.
All right. After doing this for about an hour, you can get probably, I would say, 16-ish bait fish.
Okay. All right. And I will use the bait fish to attempt to get enough fish. I want fresh fish. I'll use, say, 8, half of them, and get some fish, and then I will salt the bait fish so that they'll preserve until I use them the next day.
All right. Let's get one more. All right. So you're using how many of the bait fish did you say you were using?
8.
8. So I'm saying I think with the 15 you can probably get 4 decent sized fish to cook.
Okay. And I'm going to prepare those fish using the rice, and I will make rice and fish, and I'll have some beans on the side to go along with it, and I will I'm going to we don't have butter, right? There's no butter. It's just okay.
I'd be careful asking Socks for butter, but
Yeah, I'm not asking any. So yeah, I'll cook it up using. I'll cook it over a fire. I'll just grill the fish over a fire and make some rice and some beans. That'll be our mid-morning brunch.
all right, are you spice weaseling it?
Bam! Spice weasel.
All right.
And after, I'm going to also repack my spice weasel.
All right. All right, so if you would, go ahead and roll the temp hit points for the Spice Weasel, and everybody make sure that you update your hit points with the temporary, as is necessary.
Is the rice and beans getting it? Or is
Yes.
it just the fish getting the seasoning?
Yes. Everything's getting the seasoning. All right, D4 plus 2. Ooh. 3 hit points.
That don't feel as strong as normal.
I don't think you wound it as good.
Well, I don't really have a whole lot going for me here. There's rice and beans, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I normally have some butter to saute and make the fish a little more succulent. But
Oh, you needed butter? Is that my chair? Oh man, what's going on here? What's that? They come aboard, and then all of a sudden, it's like my furniture means nothing anymore.
We'll get you a new Papazan.
Fine. I hope you cleaned it out.
oh yes, I did.
I'm sorry, Socks. I didn't know that was your chair. I was just wandering around and I found it.
Sure. The cushion in it definitely didn't give it away as a seat.
But I mean, there's a whole bunch of weird things in there too. I mean, I didn't
Whoa,
think-
wait. What'd you find?
Well, like the yarn, it just seemed like all the
Oh,
knitting
whew.
stuff.
Yeah, his weird stuff. Yeah, I know, weirdo, right?
So I just assumed that was part of, it just fell over or something.
No, fair enough. We're good. I've got some stuff I'm gonna go take care of real quick, and I'll be right back to eat. All right, cool. He like scuttles away.
Hide the stash.
All right, so you guys eat your morning meal. It was a 1-day trip, so I didn't break out the whole the ocean rules that I have, that wonderful supplement that I have for seafaring adventures. But let's do. Do you want to do the rolls for I'm gonna say for perception? Well, you need what we're gonna need is rolls for perception, and we're gonna need sort of like we don't really need a navigation roll because you're basically just keeping the coast on the starboard side of the ship. So it's more of just a perception. Do you want Socks? Because typically I would think that Socks, being as small as he is and as light as he is, he would scurry up and he would be up top and he would be doing his thing for lookout. Do you want him to maintain sort of a crow's nest lookout like I would think he would, or would you like to make those rolls?
No, we'll let Sox do it.
Excellent.
He's a really good first mate.
And
I'm
we
going to do this as a
rock
DM roll.
to the bottom of the ocean.
They left on a 1-day trip, never to be seen again.
3-hour tour.
I am not Marianne.
You're more like a Gilligan.
No, Socks would have to be the Gilligan.
All right, is there anything else?
No, do I need? You said I don't need to do like water vehicles or anything, or navigator tools or any of those.
Considering that you're literally just keeping the coast on your starboard side, and are you planning? You're not planning on going out too far, right? You're just going to keep the coastline in sight because where you're at, you're going to be heading south until you see the river inlet, and then you're going to be taking the river inlet in just a little ways, and then coming ashore. So,
right, yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad if you're not going far out. The weather's good today. You're not encountering any sort of. It's honestly not even a cloud in the sky. Whenever you guys get up, it's completely cleared out.
Sounds good.
So, I don't really see a need for it yet. Until Socks doesn't tell you about that reef, and then you're like,
Just killing off everything I love, aren't you?
just you wait, bud. Krillock's will be a story of tragedy and loss like you have never known.
My bad.
What? Why are you are you posting that?
I didn't mean to. I meant to hit the cogwheel.
Did you take observant at this last level?
Yes. That's 17 passive, buddy.
Yeah. It's not bad. All right. So no stormy seas, no hard going, no negative encounters at this point. It's just a long day on the water, taking the ship down towards the south, keeping the shore not too far away as you make your way down and you see the river inlet that you are familiar with. This being the river inlet that those years ago you sailed the Kilbrine out and into the open ocean, giving up your previous life. So it's easy for you to navigate back inward. You're getting towards later afternoon at this point. You've probably got 3 hours left of sunlight, and you've probably got 2 hours to go until you hit Hanunah. So you're expecting that you'll probably have about an hour of light by the time you get there. So are you wanting to just kind of press on? Your mic's jacked up again. All right, you have to mime everything for the rest of the game. Charades. I'm going to need chat help to get through these charades. Don't sign language me. I can't do that. I'm no good at it at all. All right. Let's get us a music change here.
Maybe like tap. He might be able to understand Morse code.
I can't.
All right, I got it back.
Okay.
See how long it lasts.
All right, so
The battle rages for South.
you make your way down the river. You're heading inland, and you're, of course, exceptionally familiar. You're exceptionally familiar with this river, and the hanging limbs that are coming over from the starboard side with the heavy entanglement of vines. You know that this is sort of the outcropping on the starboard side of what is the swamp. It's not too bad on this side of the river. It's easy enough where it's not difficult to travel if you stay close to the river here. You don't typically run into the same sort of marshy badness that you guys have encountered over the past couple of weeks or the past few days. So you come around this particularly snake-like portion of the river, and you can start to see the lights of Hanunah as the dusk is setting down, the sun's beginning to set, and you can see off not too far ahead as the lights are breaking, and you're approaching slowly, and it's almost like fireflies off just above the water. And you make your way in to a dock that jettisons out it's out maybe 20 feet into the river, and you know that this is typically used as the ferry parking for the ferrymen that come up and down through this area. But there's not a ferry currently at this particular docking, and that typically is your sign for it's vacant. It's a vacant parking space. So you pull in, you tie off the Kilbrine, and you know that just through the thick bushes and the trees is your home city of Hanunah.
After we get all moored up and everything, I'm gonna dig in my coin pouch. I'm gonna give Sock 75 gold. So, appreciate you keeping the Kilbrine safe. Go have a good time. I'm not sure how long we'll be staying here, but we're gonna be heading out to Broken Tusk next. I'll leave it up to you if you want to come along on that journey as well, and keep an eye on the Kilbrine.
No, you know I will. I'll try not to spend all 75 gold on the party people of Hanunah.
There'll be more later. It was
Man.
just for this little trip venture. Come on.
It's like a retirement community.
It is. It's peaceful, though.
Yeah. Sure, if that's what you're into. Well, anyway, all right, I'm gonna go get some booze.
All right.
Later!
Bye, Socks.
Bye there, bud.
So I
All right.
really need to get some gear.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not
And
prepared.
we can restock provisions, and then we'll probably make way either tomorrow or the day after and see what's going on around here, and then we'll head up to Broken Tusk.
By the way, what was the cut on the our venture? I can't remember how much gold we ended up getting cut between us.
You got 100 gold at the start. And then you got 11 gold from the bandit camp.
Your button's stuck, bud.
We do have some gems that we can sell that I was holding on to.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go into town and see if I can get us some provisions and some food items. Is there a an arcane shop anywhere here in this place of Hanunah?
No, sorry.
Well, fair enough. We'll find that later on. I would assume there is definitely some place to get some provisions and some food and some spices. Is there anything that particular the group would want?
I'll go with you.
Some bananas. No, I'm just kidding. No bananas.
No bananas. Right.
You bring a banana on my boat, I'll throw you overboard with the bananas.
Fair enough. No bananas.
But bananas are really good.
No, they're terrible. On a
They're-
boat.
I mean, but they're good for joints.
Yeah, but they're terrible for boats. They just bring nothing but bad luck.
Fair enough. I don't.
That's why I bring a kobold with me on my boat. They're good luck.
I have so much to learn.
New one on me too. But you know what? I'm not a sailor.
Garrick, I'll help you. You know, because I know I have a little more picky diet, you would say.
Okay, well, let's go get you some gear first. Then we'll get some provisions, and we'll be back. What time? When are we going to be leaving? How long do I have?
We'll probably stay here the night and then possibly make way. No, I'm not in a huge rush for tomorrow. I gotta stop by and see somebody, and then say mid-morning tomorrow, maybe, if everything goes as planned.
Are we staying on the boat, or are we getting rooms?
There is a small little inn.
Oh, thank God.
Is there just one in here? How well do I know this town?
Not very well. There's not a whole lot of talk about Hanunah in the other towns and cities. It's known as a home for the turtle people, but aside from the fact that there are ferries that will run sort of up and down the river through the area, they don't go all the way to the road, which is why most people don't normally visit just in traveling. But it is known as being it's a very small sort of zen location. It's very relaxed. It's exceptionally calm. But that being said, as you guys make your way towards Hanunah, like you make your way through the brush and the thickets that give way to the actual site of Hanunah, you see that it's mainly like clay and muddish made structures with there's a lot of straw roofs. There's some stick roofs. It seems like the majority of what's used Earlier when I was talking about it looked like fireflies off over the water. It seems like a large portion of their lighting outside is actually some form of, you can't tell if it's really a magical creation or if it's just a natural occurrence of like exceptionally large fireflies that exist and seem to just kind of frequent around the town of Hanunah. It's a very calm and relaxing place, but that being said, it doesn't necessarily have the sort of it doesn't have the sort of trade or artisan work that the other towns in the area have, and so it's not something that, with this particular continent, especially the people of Providence and Cayman's Folly and Cambridge, it's all about trade. And so the majority of what you hear about is the towns that have something to offer, a good way to make profit.
It's big enough to have an inn.
It is big enough to have an inn.
Is it big enough to have 2 inns?
No, it's
Well, I'm going to the inn.
okay. All right, so now I know that those two are going shopping for cooking supplies. You're going to be going to the inn. So
Yes,
let me just get an idea here. So actually, no, we'll just get started with you. So you find, is anybody else going to the inn, I should say, or is Ari breaking off on her own?
So it was Dee Dee and Carrick and Krillock still on the boat with his cobalt, right?
No, Socks left and went to the pub. Oh, sorry. DM, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're fine. Yeah, that's exactly right. Socks went to the pub.
I'm gonna go with Ari to the inn.
And Ari, you're not trying to like shake anybody, are you? Or were
no,
you?
I'm not. But I will thank the people that aren't coming with me for the escort here and the boat ride.
Well, if you need anything, we'll be over there shortly. We're going to do a little shopping, and then we'll see you at the tavern.
I just need to do some snooping.
Well, do you need help with the snooping, or are you good?
Well, if you want to help, just looking for my dad, figuring out where he went, or my father.
Oh well, I mean, we can always get the provisions a little bit later. I mean, we just have to have them before we shove off tomorrow. Is that the way you use that word? I'm going to look at Krillock.
Sure. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I need to be shoving off though.
So, Didi, you want to go to the tavern first? We can, and then we'll go get your provisions and the food after.
Yeah, we can go help with that. I have no problem with that.
Good. We'll go with the two of you.
All right. So the four of you are heading to the inn. Krillock, are you going as well? No? Okay.
Nope.
All right. So the four of you are heading over to the inn. It looks like a mud structure. It is 2 stories. It's remarkably strong for what it is. It feels completely solid. It's almost like a oh my gosh, what is the word?
Adobe.
Yeah. Sort of basically, yeah. But so it's very cozy looking. It's quite quaint. And you go walking, as you walk into the door, a little bell chimes over the door, and you can hear some shuffling. What you're seeing, though, is this appears to be both tavern and inn in one building, but the tavern portion is very small. It seems like it's just a common area about the size of a living room. There's not even really so much of a proper large bar. It's more of just a small spot that has a couple of casks of ale, and then you can see that there's a couple of bottles of wine that have obviously been uncorked and recorked. And so there's a fire burning off on the side, and there's only a couple of small tables. And at one small table, you can see that it's just Socks sitting with a cup that is comically large for this kobold, and it seems to be halfway empty already, and he's just playing cards with another turtle, and they seem to be having a quiet conversation. You don't even really see there. It doesn't seem like they're betting on anything. They're just sitting, talking quietly, and playing cards. And then from an adjacent room, a turtle a turtle woman comes walking out. Yes? Hello. Visitors. This is wonderful.
So I'm taking it. This is your establishment.
Oh, yes.
You're the curator, innkeeper,
We like to
news source.
bed and breakfast for those that travel through, really. My husband and myself. And she just kind of gestures back to herself.
Well, that's I'm here 2 reasons. Probably gonna need a place to stay. Well, definitely gonna need a place to stay. But I'm actually looking for my father. I'm Orisana Rivland, and my father has gone missing. I don't know if you're familiar with a Nicholas Rivland at all.
No,
No.
I'm not familiar with a Nicholas Rivland. There was a
Insight.
halfling. Yeah, certainly. She appears to be telling the truth.
Okay.
I'm not really much one for passing gossip or speaking of travelers that come through, though.
I can give a brief description of my father, even though I don't know what he looks like, but I do. My character does.
Okay. Are we going with the same? I think we had an image before.
We did. I have forgotten. I didn't
Okay.
write it down.
All right, I think I have it, so I can get that for you later.
Or I can invent something new on the fly completely.
Or you could do that. Either way works with me, but then I got to take notes, so let me get my pad.
We're gonna call him short because he's a halfling.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minute. I'm seeing what I have for me. I want to make sure I make things that are biologically capable. Oh yeah, I'm fine. So dark hair, dark eyes. Significant scar across the face. For he served quite a time in the militia, was captain of the militia in Cambridge, then was kind of hoping that and his political affiliation would make him recognizable down here.
Carrick, with your 13 insight, you can see that she appears to have some sort of recollection of the description, but she doesn't really seem to want to be forthcoming, and you think it's more just out of more of a respect for her customers than like a malicious thing.
Okay.
Well, I can certainly at least help with the arrangement for rooms. We had quite a few children that have all moved out into the world, you see, so that's given us a chance to open this bed and breakfast and operate it for the past years. How many rooms could I get for the 4 of you?
That's a good question.
Probably 4. I would think. I don't know that any of us would want to share a room. I mean, how much are your rooms for one night?
Oh, they're not a lot. Maybe for for such a sweet group of people. And she smiles. 3 silver, just for the night. If you'd like meals provided, 5 silver, and we can provide meals as well. Delivered to your rooms, or you may have it here in the common area. Your choice.
I will go for the 5 silver treatment. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, that does sound good. Being having someone cook for me for a change every now and again is good.
Now I do have another. Not to bring the subject back. Well, no, to bring the subject back. My father does have an affinity for secret passages. Why did you say secret? Just uncommon deep. Um, yeah. What you got? Secrets? Tell me all of them.
No secrets here.
Yeah, no, that didn't. I approached that wrong.
But if I think I understand your meaning, though, but I don't believe that Hanunah houses any sort of secret underground ancient ruins or anything.
Yeah, I understand.
Damn it!
But well,
There's no one you would know that could help her out. Like you wouldn't know anyone that might know some more about this place. I know you're running. You run this in, so I imagine that takes a lot of your time.
she's gonna noticeably look around, just mildly uncomfortably. There we go. She's gonna look between you and Ari. Maybe if how about I get you your rooms and you can go get comfortable, and I'll bring your food up to you here shortly.
On my food, just vegetables, fruit.
Oh,
Yeah, no meat. You know.
wonderful. We can certainly accommodate for that.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
I,
very welcome.
I like something with maybe some steak. Oh, steak.
We'll see what we can do.
And do you have? Is there a place in town? I'm a bit of a cook myself, and we're going to be heading out tomorrow. I'm going to need provisions for our small group here. Is there a place where I can get some supplies, some sugar, and maybe some fresh vegetables, some meat, and, spices, that sort of thing?
You can definitely find those things at the trading post. You can't really miss it. It's an open market with stalls.
Yeah,
I
right. I'll head back
imagine
down there. I think we passed it on the way, and I didn't know if there was a particular place. But I'll find that here shortly.
you'll find more selection tomorrow as things open up a bit. You'll only find those that are married to their work at the stalls now, and those are the ones that really like to turn a profit.
Well, in that case, I'll just head there in the morning.
I have another question. I need to find a backpack. I need to purchase a backpack. Is there a good store that's reputable that you would recommend?
To be completely honest, as small as our community is, the trading post is going to be your best bet for all supplies.
Oh, okay.
But it might be difficult to find a backpack for one of your shellless stature. Perhaps one can be taken in, though. She kind of gestures to the shell on her back that is a huge part of turtles, and this being a turtle community.
I'm just Didi's gonna have a blank, like, not really catching on to that.
I'm sure you can find what you need at the trading
Well-
post.
We'll help him. We'll help him. I'll put my hand on Didi's shoulder. It's his first time out of, well, anywhere really.
So exciting.
Wonderful. Well, we're happy that you stopped into our community, and I'm happy that you've decided to share in my home.
I do have one more question, maybe. Do
Mhm.
you have a local militia or a constable or somebody I can talk to further what I'm looking for my dad? Still,
We don't find much need for. Well, that's not true. Lately, I guess there has been more need.
well,
Really?
very
I'll,
few
I'll,
places.
I'll raise a brow. What do you mean more need?
The lizard folk from the swamp have been much more aggressive. There was a time that I can remember where they lived separately and we lived separately, and we left one another alone for the most part. But here lately it's been rough. There've
Well,
been a few raids on the town where they've come through and burnt down some homes, and we've recently had to form a militia based off of the fighters that we do have that are still here in Hanunah.
we had a run in or two with lizard folks on the way here. They are abundant. I'm sorry.
Things have definitely not been as peaceful as we would like, but we get by and people have been doing their share.
So it almost sounded like you're going to say that there is no constable here, too. Like you don't have any law enforcement?
I wouldn't say there's no law enforcement, but typically speaking, we don't have anything that necessitates to have someone full time dictated as law enforcement, if that makes sense.
It does.
As of now, our leader of what militia has been trained is an old fisherman who lives just outside the town proper, but I can't remember. I believe he's still in town. I don't think that he has gone off on his own recently. I could definitely give you directions
I
to
would
where he
gladly.
lives. He goes by the name of Krillock. He's just out of town. I'll happily draw you a map, but I imagine he probably wouldn't accept visitors so happily at this time.
I'm incredibly friendly.
He's not quite as hospitable as we are. He's a grouchy old fisherman. But if you want to pay him a visit tonight, I can certainly draw you a map and deliver it to you with your food.
That would be lovely. And also food, yes.
Wonderful.
Cartography's a hobby of yours, or
Oh no.
most people aren't excited to draw maps.
It'll be a very crude map, but it's the best way to make sure that you don't get lost.
Well, I'd also feel very special having a map drawn by you. I don't know why. I have, yes.
Oh, aren't you just sweet? Such a shame looking for your father. I wish I could be more help.
Oh,
Well, let me. And she kind of turns and she makes her way back to the doorway that she came through, and you can still see her. She's kind of halfway leaning around the corner. You can hear jingling as she's pulling door keys off, and she comes back, and they're very clearly labeled with it's cards, but instead of actually having numbers or letters written on them, it's essentially it's almost like a preserved leaf of different colors. And she hands them over to each of you individually, and she says, upstairs you'll find the doors with the matching leaf and color. I hope that you find good rest. And she looks at you, Ari, and she seems to very deliberately say, I'll deliver your meal to you very shortly. Please do make yourself comfortable.
That was my plan. I'll be in my room, and I handed her the 5 silver piece for my key.
Thank you.
I'll do the same,
No, thank you.
and I'll nod to her. I will be in my room as well. Do you know if anyone in town has a or even if yourself a book that maybe I'm wanting to try to learn some new languages. I'm not really sure. Really, I care which one. I just always trying to better myself. Do you know if there's anything like that in town? Maybe even your own language.
I can certainly look at my books, but I don't think I have any. I'm not sure where you would find something like that.
It's okay. I'll find something.
Okay. If a thought crosses my mind, I'll be sure to let you know if I think of something.
And if you don't mind, I don't know what time you rise, but if you can be sure that I am up and moving as the sun rises. I like to get up and I don't like to sleep late.
Wonderful. I will definitely be up before the sun. Got to make breakfast.
Fair, very fair.
Well, after she hands the keys, she's going to make her way back.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
I don't need this key. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be staying here the night. Here you go. And I hand back the key.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Can I interest you in a meal?
No, I'm all right. Thank you. And I like bite a piece of beef jerky.
Okay. Well, it was lovely to see you.
Oh, how much do I owe you for the room and food?
5 silver, dear.
Here you go.
Thank you. All right.
So, the kobold is in this establishment drinking, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go walk over and sit down next to him.
Oh, well, hey.
Hello yourself. And I'm gonna say it in Draconic to him, see if he understands.
He looked over, he gave you a smile, he looked back down at his cards, and when you talk to him in Draconic, his eyes get really big and he looks up very quickly. Uh-huh.
So you and Krillock been coming here a while, or is this like a very rare trip?
Are you still speaking in Draconic?
Yes.
In common, he is going to say back to you, we don't come by too frequently anymore. He's we got work we do. We stop by every now and then though, so that Krillock can take care of his business.
Okay, she's gonna switch back to common and be like, "Do you know of anyone who we can get information from here, or acquiring some off the cuff record, whatever you want to call it, of goods.
Records of goods.
Maybe something that most people don't want to sell or be known for selling.
I mean, this is Hanunah. This stuff doesn't happen very often through here. And I would think that if anybody was moving product through here, frankly, it would probably be Krillock.
See, that's why I wanted to make sure that, because I feel like you're the guy to talk to. You see all.
What, is somebody stepping on our turf?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I mean, not like our turf, not like we do that or anything, but like if we were to do that, I would consider this to be our turf, is what I'm trying to... I said too much.
Who do I talk to if I want information?
You're looking at him. What do you want to know?
You haven't been here. So
That
what's your
doesn't
contact
matter.
here?
This place doesn't change. Oh, now you want me to give you the contacts, huh? You're the one stepping on my turf.
I'm also the girl from Providence that Krillock told you about too. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm one of the contacts. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here, and it feels like the locals don't want to talk.
Well, you and Uncle Gregory moving in to sell your own goods through here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, maybe we'll cut you in. No, wait, hold on. What are we... I'm confused. What are we talking about anymore? Are we talking business?
Look. There's something going on in this swamp. They're the lizard folk. They're getting rowdy. I want information, like somebody who's actually going to talk to me. Who's going to talk to me about stuff that's going on?
Well, based off that conversation that I was definitely not eavesdropping on, it sounds like Krillock would probably be the first guy to go to about the lizard folk.
So you don't have any other information?
Hey, it's like you said. Hadn't been in town for a while.
She's going to eye him. Insight check him.
Okay. His tiny draconic features are not easy to read at all, and you are not able to get a read on this now stone-faced kobold sitting across from you.
I'm watching you.
Oh yeah, I'm watching you. I'm watching you watching me.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna get up and just head back to Krillock's boat.
I'm not there.
Would I have noticed this? Just curious, like how far away? Since we haven't left the desk, are they in eyesight of me?
Well, this was after the conversation, so
Okay,
I would
so
say
we've
that
already left.
you've gotten your room keys. I would say you've gotten your room keys, and Lily has said at this point that she was not planning on staying here. Would you have waited for them to leave?
Yeah, she was waiting for everybody to go to their rooms.
I have taken the hint, and I'm going to my room. So I'm pretty
Okay, never mind.
immediate
Then
about
I
that.
wouldn't be.
Okay. So as you're making your way out the door, you hear behind you, "I'm watching you."
She just says it back in Draconic and keeps walking without looking at him.
All right, so you're making your way back to the boat. Let's see what time. Okay, Krillock. So we're gonna move over to you here before we continue with the rest.
All right.
But hey, you waited for everybody to leave. You were there. You moored your ship. Everybody's gone. What's Krillock doing? What's he up to?
Krillock's gonna go visit his uncle.
All right. Hold on. Let me change the music. It needs to be more. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll initiative.
I'm never telling you anything again, DM. You're the worst.
Don't tell me what you love. I'll take it. So.
I love Dee.
So
Kill him.
the last time you came through here, actually, I'm gonna say it's probably been the last few times that you've rolled through here. I just threw my pen on the floor. when you came through, you found that your uncle's house, though it was still very well maintained, his small house that he maintained, um, it it was empty, but it was well maintained. And as you're looking around and found some people that you recognized and recognized you, they let you know that he's been getting he's been slowly getting a little bit worse with his memory. And so what they had decided was that it was time for him to have, instead of living on his own, they had moved him in with some other folks. Essentially, it's like if you think retirement home in the Forgotten Realms sort of mentality here.
Some assisted living.
Yes. So he was moved to a home that was one of the larger homes originally in Hanunah that had been repurposed after the passing of the previous owners into this assisted living facility, to put it bluntly. And it's out towards the edge of town, close to the river. It's got a nice view of the river. So instead of walking inland through all the brush, you actually make your way down if that's your first destination. So you walk along the river on your way down until you find it, and you make your way up. And so you knock on the door, and it's answered by a young turtle that you are familiar with, as he's about the same age as you, and his name is Tonka. Oh, hey, buddy. It's nice to see you back in town.
Tonka, yeah. Just kind of passing through. Just wanted to see how Uncle Clintrap was doing.
He's in his room right now. He's having a pretty good day today. So it's actually nice you came in when you did. The past week's been a little rough.
Has it?
It has, but you know.
How's it been worse? Like, what's he been doing?
It's just the memory. You know. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, I know.
There's good days and there's bad days, though, and you know, we're thankful for the good ones, and today's one of those.
That's good. I'm gonna give him like 10 gold and like, yeah, can you take me up to him?
Yeah, no problem. Come on in. I'm sorry. And he like steps out of the way and lets you in the door. And closes it behind you, and takes you up the staircase and down a hallway. And you can see that there's other turtles that are more elderly turtles. Downstairs, there's a few sitting around in sort of a common area around the fire, and they're talking and they're laughing. And you get up and you make your way down the hallway, and it's the last door down the hallway, and he kind of knocks lightly on the door. Clintrap, there's someone here to see you. And there's nothing, no response. And he just kind of creaks the door open, and you can see that your uncle is sitting in a cushy chair in front of a window with just one candle that's lit off to the side, and it's burned really far down. There's barely any wick left in it, and it's passing sort of just a faint light around the room as it dances on the walls. And he doesn't turn and look, but you can tell that he's just sitting there, and he's rocking sort of gently in this armchair. I'll leave him to you.
And Aquin, Uncle Clintrap, it's me, Krillock.
Boy? And he sort of turns and gives a look over the armchair, and you can see as like he smiles, and it seems like it's a foreign expression, the way his face looks, and he smiles. Boy, come in here. Let me find another candle.
Do I see any candles laying around?
Yeah, actually, there's probably 3 or 4 unlit candles in this room that look like they're brand new.
I'm gonna grab. I got this, and I'm gonna go over there and like light the new candle, replace it with the old one with the new.
Okay. Boy, what? My goodness. You look. What happened to you?
The adventurer's life.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
They've been taking good care of you here.
Uh, you know, you're doing fine. I can't figure out where Terrapine is. She's gone off to get something from the trader's post and just hasn't come back yet. It's starting to get late.
I'm sure she'll be back on.
Every time I ask old whatever his face is, he just tells me to calm down, tells me to sit and relax, tells me to play cards. Cards.
Don't they know dominoes is your game?
That's what I tell him. Give me the bones.
You know what? I'll make sure to get you some of those next time I come back by here.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hasn't been that long since we played bones. I remember.
It's been a while.
Spanked you pretty bad, if I recall.
That you did. Can never get one up on you.
Well, one day the student will become the teacher.
Yeah.
With age,
Looking forward
boy.
to that day. Well, you got me there.
It's all about honing that mind, keeping it sharp.
Right, yeah. Definitely gotta keep that mind sharp. So, everything else around here been good?
No, not so bad. Not so bad. He looks like he's sort of trying to think, like he's trying to think of something. I don't think.
Don't think about what? Nothing bad?
I don't know. And he shakes his head like he's snapping out. I don't think anything. Nah, nothing bad. Nothing bad. Quiet town.
Yeah. Want to go for a walk?
Oh, that sounds nice. Maybe we can go find Terrapine. Lord knows.
Maybe. But you know how she is at the market.
It takes forever.
Yeah. So I'll try and help him up, and then just kind of go walk out back behind the building. Eventually work our way down there, just kind of walk by the river and just catch up as much as I can.
Yeah. On the way out the door, he groans about his back. He reaches over and he kind of hefts up. It's a walking stick is what it is, but you know that this particular walking stick was once it was the shaft of the weapon that he used for the majority of his life. And he kind of looks at it like he was expecting it to still have the sort of, it's kind of like an elongated glaive, like an elongated thick glaive into it. And he looks at it like he's expecting it to have it, and he just kind of shakes his head and glances around and well, we'll be fine. We're not going too far.
But yeah, like I said, just gonna kind of go around back and walk and just kind of do a kind of catching up and just make an old man feel needed again.
I gotcha. Well, he talks about things that you've heard about before that they're not any sort of new events. It seems like his mind is still sharp in some places as far as things that were at one point, a new event. But you catch up. Everything he seems to be in good physical health. And he obviously appreciates the company.
That's my plan. Hang out with my uncle for a little while.
Okay.
I can take a bathroom break.
All right. All right then. What we'll do is, so Ari.
Yes, sir. Oh, dogging him.
All right. It's not long after you've been up in your room and you've gotten comfortable, and you hear a knock on the door.
I will answer the door.
And it's the older turtle woman, and she has a tray that has it's a small cut of some sort of beef, some sort of meat, beefish look to it, and it's got some it looks like a baked potato and some like broccoli cuts.
Why, hello again. That looks delicious.
Thank you. We try to take good care of our guests. And she sort of makes her way in and
Well,
sets
I
it.
invite her in.
Right. Well, she makes her way in and sets down the tray on a desk, a writing desk that's on the side of the room. There's this big. Your room is essentially. I'm sorry, I probably should have described this to everyone that got a room. But your room is not large, but it is. It just inside the door. There's a writing desk that has a bottle of ink. It has a few quills, and it has some parchment that's sitting on the desk. And then it's got this. It's not quite, it's probably like a full sized, it's like a big floofy bed, and each one of you has different patchwork. It's like quilts that adorn the bed with large fluffy pillows. It's actually very, it for what you paid for the room, it is an exceptionally comfortable room, though it's not large.
Sounds like I was being comfortable. Well, it's good sized for me.
It's huge for you. But she comes walking in and she sets your food down. I'm sorry to say I wasn't entirely forthcoming with you earlier.
Well, I kind of got the impression when you told me to come up here and wait for you.
I'd rather not talk about my customers in front of other customers. I hear that's not exactly good for business.
I understand, and I'm not exactly good for searching for my missing father, so I'm still awkward at it.
Well, I will say that a man of his description did come through this past week, but
Well,
he left.
coming in the right way.
He did leave on the ferry to the south, which
Ferries. What directions do ferries leave from here?
there's a ferry that runs on the northern side of the river. The river, and she's gonna like take the quill and sort of like draw the river here, but essentially what you get from it is that there's ferries that run through Hanunah around the coastline here if someone is trying to make their way up towards Wade, which doesn't happen very frequently, but most of the people that use the ferries are the turtles of Hanunah, and that's to go back and forth across the river. But she says that there's another ferry that's to the south that typically just goes straight down into that. I don't know if you can see. I'm using like a horrible color for this. Let me adjust
Oh
my
yeah,
color
I see
here.
it now.
Now let me adjust this color and give you something a little bit better here. So with Hanunah, so along the swamp line here, but most of the time they just take it straight across right there. But there's also every now and then the ferry will come down and sort of swoop up and then go out to the inlet and then come back. And that's more for scouting purposes, just to keep an eye on the river. So the ferries double as not just a way across this river, but also a way for them to keep an eye on their island, to make sure that there's nothing going on with their river border that they keep between them and the rest of the world.
So where is the swamp between Camen's Folly and Hanunah? Where did we come from in there?
Oh boy.
How did I get lost?
So you were part of a caravan that was moving from Cayman's Folly up to Providence. About the time that you made it here, you ran into another caravan that was heading south out of Providence, and they had seen that your uncle had been a hired hand, a guard on that particular caravan as it was heading up towards Providence, and they told you that he had left the caravan around this point and headed east toward, they assumed, Hanunah.
All right, so more than likely he wasn't heading south. But that's just me. I'm just thinking. I did not say that out loud.
Yeah. So
how many people is this? How many different ferries are there? I mean, how often is there a? What am I trying to ask? How many people sail this route?
for the ferry, she tells you that there used to be 4 ferries that went up and down the rivers, and they basically operated the ferry for, of course, the need of getting people across back and forth for foraging work, etc. So have you travel, but the ferrymen also just again went around watching the island and gathering intel. But there was one ferry that was decommissioned some time ago, and then there was another ferry that was stolen, and now there's only 2. They didn't see the need to rebuild these other ferries, so there's 2. There's one that typically takes the northern path and makes their way back and forth, and then there's one on the southern side.
And the stolen one was stolen how long ago? How long are we talking? They're out of commission.
That's a great question. I don't think we've ever worked that timeline in there. How old is Krillock?
He's in his 30s, so he just stole it probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
about-
not within the last month.
No. She tells you that your father definitely.
Oh, sorry, he's 20. So he
he's
was stolen
20?
5 years ago.
Okay, 5 years ago. All right, so your father, she's aware that he was here. He rented a room. Just to kind of paraphrase, to summarize here, he was here. Someone matching his description. He did rent a room. He stayed for a very brief amount of time, but he seemed like he was in a hurry. He gave a different name than the one that you provided.
Well, he's going to be recognizable some places. I guess not here, but
Right. But he did give a different name, and it was the name James Kinnian was the name that he provided, in case you want that.
I do want that.
So he provided the name of James Kinnian, and he came through off of the northern side, out of the swamp. He was delivered by ferry into town. He stayed at the inn for a couple of days, and then he said that he was heading south. And so he got on the southern ferry as the last that she knows.
And just, not that I don't trust you, but why would he tell you that he was going south?
I don't know.
Did
He
by
was a
chance
very
indicate that
kind man.
Did he indicate by chance that I might be coming? Maybe? No?
I can't say so. He made no mention of a daughter or a son. Just
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have made any mention of a son.
he only told me that he had business that he was passing through, and asked me where the ferry moor was for the southern ferry. I drew him a map.
Your map of the Southern Ferry is probably a very popular map, it seems. Well, thank you for everything. Hopefully, I'll find him. Hopefully, he hasn't gotten himself into trouble.
She, with your meal, you do see that there is a folded up piece of parchment as well, and that's your map to Krillock's home. If you'd like to give him a visit, just do let him know that Dorothea uh, gave you the directions that way. And she just kind of makes her way out the door, and as she does, she smiles.
I will thank her. Well, I thank her. Thank you. You're most kind, and
You're welcome, dear.
yeah, thank you. Thanks again. That's
I hope you find your father. I had quite a few children of my own. I'd love to see them again. I'm sure they'll make their way back at some point.
yeah. I hope I find him. I feel I need to stop him. I don't think what's going on is good, but I am oversharing. I do that a lot.
She smiles. I'll be sure to keep it to myself.
And I bow or something. Curtsy bow.
All right. After she leaves your room, she goes down, and Dee Dee and Carrick, your meals are both delivered up as well by Dorothea. So I didn't know if either one of you, if you didn't specifically want to speak to her, she's going to be much more businesslike in the sense of delivering the meals, and then she's going to take her leave, unless you had things that you wanted to talk to her about specifically. Alone.
Krillock, I mean, Krillock would have, no, he would have, you know, as I take the plate, you know, we found that poor girl. She had been turned into a, like some little tiny squirrel-like creature. She's really needs to find her father. And I feel like maybe you could help her a little bit. And I don't want to step on toes. It's certainly not my place to do so. But if you could give the poor girl any information, it would be really good. And thank you for the dinner. And I'll just kind of nod, and that's all I'll say. Not knowing that she's already helped him, but he's just kind of trying to grease a wheel that has already squeaked down the road, not knowing. So that's all he would have done.
Okay. She doesn't seem to let on at all, but she essentially just says that hopefully Krillock will be able to help out, and she gave her the map. That's really all.
Okay. Yeah, he's not going to call her out on anything. He just
All right. Well, we are at 7 minutes to 10, so I feel like now would be an appropriate time to. Actually, you know what? So hold on. So Lily is waiting back at the boat, right?
She's not waiting. She's practicing putting up the lean-to and figuring out how to do more survival-esque stuff on the boat while waiting, but she's actively doing stuff.
Okay, so I have two questions before I make my decision as to whether we do our break now or in a couple of minutes. Are you planning on going to Krillock's home this evening, or are you going to wait until the next day?
I am going to go and see what everybody who stayed at the inn is doing, and if they will come with me, and if they will do it tonight, it will be tonight, or we will do it tomorrow if they want to wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's me finding the other two that are left here and seeing what they want to do. Possibly the fourth one if I don't realize she didn't stay here.
I think you've realized.
So yeah, if Carrick and Dee Dee are still here, I will seek them out.
Also, Krillock's 37. I lied.
Okay,
so Krillock's been gone 10 years.
10 years ago. 10 years ago, the boat went. It was absconded with.
That's plenty of time. He hasn't been missing that long.
It was absconded with 10 years ago. All right. Well,
So you're just a young little pup, huh?
For a turtle?
They only live for 50 years.
You're younger than I am.
It's actually, I think that's stupid that turtles don't live that long. Like turtles in real life live for like hundreds of years. Come on.
I know what D&D says. I know what Forgotten Realms says, but it makes no sense to me personally. So I will say, as far as I'm concerned for Tiermora, I always saw turtles as a long-living race.
Thank you. And that's how I see them.
So are they like dwarves in 350 years, or are they like gnomes in 500 years or longer?
I'd say probably closer to two to 300 years is what I would. I'm going with like tortoise around like here.
I'm thinking probably about the same. Yeah, I'm thinking about the same. Probably an old turtle, you're looking at probably 200 to 250. And that's like elderly turtle, 200 to 250.
That's some Clint Trap shit.
Yeah, well, he's probably closer to like 260 at this point. I think. I don't know. Guessing.
Yeah.
I think that Carrick would try to convince Ari to wait till the morning so that we have the best possible chance of finding out what she needed. We definitely don't want to, poke a bee's nest and then ruin a chance at some knowledge.
Yeah, if we're waiting until morning, I'm going shopping.
Well, they told us that there's really nowhere to shop at night, and like the only people left out there are the ones that are trying to make the biggest profit. This is probably not the best time. Maybe just eat our dinner and relax by the fire and have a good night's sleep. That's what I plan to do anyway.
And that sounds like a good idea.
And then we'll take Dee Dee shopping and make sure that he doesn't get, well, you know.
Okay. So you're waiting until the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my support because I don't know what's out there.
All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our break. We're going to do about 10-ish minutes. So I'm guesstimating around 10 Eastern time. We'll kick back up. And we're going to start back with Krillock returning to, I'm guessing his ship. Are you planning on staying on your ship? Okay, then we'll come back to that. So, all right, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and put us in break mode, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
I want to check the music again to make sure it started this time like it's supposed to. Perfect.
Oh, guess what, JD?
That's not my name.
Jadles.
You
An
gotta burn
herbalist
it all.
kit is still considered an artisan tool.
Oh, well, there you go. Then you can create one.
Actually, it's not.
All right, then you can't create one.
Alchemist supplies, brewers supplies, calligraphers, carpenters, cartographers, cobblers, cook, glassware, jeweler, leather, blah, blah, blah. So yes, alchemist I could do, but not herbalist. Oh my gosh.
So to get back to our game. So we're picking up. Oh yeah, we're picking up with. So Lily has been on the Kilbrine for a while now, working on her own personal training for the lean-tos and such. So Krillock, after you took your uncle for a walk and it started to get late, you took him back to Tonka, and you helped him get settled for the night. And it wasn't long that he kind of passed out in his bed, fell asleep. And so now you've made your way back to the Kilbrine, and it's starting to get toward it's later in the night at this point. I would say it's probably closer to 10:30 by the time you make it back. I'm imagining you probably walk slow and kind of take it in, relax a little. So about 10:30.
Stupid thing, go up.
Having issues there?
No. Yeah. I'm gonna be prepared because in the swamp that sucked butt.
Yeah, you tend to get swamp ass there.
I want to know why you were having such a hard time. Like I feel like you do that all the time, but you were struggling there too. I mean,
Typically, I go by myself. Sometimes, on a very rare occasion, Socks will come with me, but for the most part, I go on my own. So, trying to travel on your own is fine, but when you're concerned with like 4 other people, you kind of gotta try and corral everybody up and keep everybody together, and it kind of takes a toll on you instead of just going where you need to go and coming back.
oh yeah.
Worry
So
about everybody's comfort.
wrangling people makes you walk slow and move slower than a normal turtle.
Well, plus, normally I can just sleep inside my shell. I don't have to worry about what's going on outside, and I was concerned with everybody else, so I didn't get very much sleep while we were out there. It's a little exhausted.
Socks isn't very good at keeping his mouth shut.
What do you say this time?
Just that you're a smuggler. And this is your turf, and anyone encroaching will be dealt with.
He likes to dream up fancy things. He thinks because he's on a boat and we don't necessarily operate on the completely right side of the law, he thinks we're pirates. We're not pirates. We just deliver packages that others won't.
Oh, 4 pirates.
I don't know who's getting it, who's receiving it, who's shipping it. I don't ask questions. No questions asked.
Yeah, fair enough. But I definitely wouldn't tell him about the box. Unless he already knows about the box. Which, then
there's certain
don't
things
tell
I
him we have the
don't
box.
tell Socks.
He's got a good poker face after he gets caught, but
At least that's something. You want to know what his tail is?
Hmm?
He gets this little twitch right above his left eye. He thinks I can't see it because I only got one eye, and it just anytime we're looking at each other, he thinks I can't see it. I see it.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for him.
I've known him for a while. He's good. I've known him since he was little. He actually tried to rob me. It was the cutest little thing.
I mean, he tried to eat you.
What? When?
You don't think banging on a shell is trying to eat somebody?
No, he was trying to. That's how he wakes me up.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming he didn't want to wake everybody else up. He was just trying to wake me up.
Oh, okay. Hey, so everybody else is staying at the inn. You want to help me set up this tent? Lean-to? I think that's what it's called.
What do you need to set the tent up for?
To sleep?
You can sleep inside.
Okay.
I don't think Socks is going to be back, and if he does, I mean, worst case scenario, you're just going to have to cuddle up with a kobold.
I don't think he's going to cuddle with me.
Yeah,
We're watching each other, apparently.
You would be real surprised what he cuddles with.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Krillock, drink this, please, before midnight.
Okay.
Drink it. Sidebar, producers, what are you doing?
I was trying to fix something. I messed it up.
What the world?
Oh, yeah. What is this? You want me to drink it now?
Drink it and jump.
All right, I'll drink it.
Okay, now jump.
Jump.
So what?
It was a potion of flying, so you have a flying speed of 10 feet.
So Krillock jumps and just like keeps going up.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Just swim, it's the same.
Swim, it's the same as
It's
flying. That's
not
why
the
fish and
same.
birds are related.
It's not the same. How do I come down?
Good night. Remember, tuck and roll. And she goes down and gets ready to sleep.
Guess I'll just float here. Ooh, wait. Lily, how long does this last?
She's gone.
I'm gonna eventually try and swim down. I really want to know how long this lasts, though, because I may challenge Dee Dee to some yoga often, if that's a thing. If I can just like fly up and do weird, stupid pose things.
See, now that I know that this is your thought process, I'm seeing Krillock as he's thinking this through, and he's like looking for people, making sure there's nobody around. He's trying like yoga poses in the air. It's just
Exactly.
like, well, so in the middle of one of these yoga poses, though, about 10 minutes later, you just like plummet to the ground. It's not too far. It's like you probably fell like 8-9 feet, but it's just kind of like ka-thump.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
All right, make a perception check. All right. So make sure I got the right thing going here. As you're getting ready to retire down below deck, you happen to notice as there's a soft red glow that's coming from farther up the river. It's not too far away, but it's definitely much brighter than the lamps are typically kept throughout the night in Hanunah. And you stop and you watch it for a couple of minutes and just sort of look, and then you hear the sound of a horn coming from that direction, and it is in the direction of the home where your uncle is currently staying.
I am gonna haul ass over there by myself.
So by yourself, you're taking off in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's noted. The other three of you that are staying at the inn. Well, actually, hold on. Let me deal with the one that's on the ship. So you've been down probably for about half an hour. You're in and out of sleep at this point.
Well, I spent the first 10 minutes while he was floating and doing weird stuff to set up the spider so that if anyone came down, the alarm spell would go off. That wasn't a part of the party or socks.
Okay.
So 20 minutes.
I'd like for you to make a perception check to see if you can hear the horn. I was looking for a 10 there. So, unfortunately, at this point, you're oblivious to what's going on in the initial part of this scenario. The other three of you, I would like for you to also make perception checks. It's a little bit later in the evening, but I'm
I have
going.
a passive 16.
Okay,
Nice.
I still need a roll.
Okay.
All right, so Ari and Carrick, you both. Oh shit! I didn't set that on loop. That's pretty good though, right? Anyway, so
I
so
like the pooty music.
Ari and Carrick, you both are woken from your sleep, and you can hear some bustling around downstairs as you're woken up by this horn, and you sort of stick your heads out into the hallway at the same time, and you look. You have the way your rooms are set up. It's like Ari's is on the far left, Dee Dee's would be in the middle, and then Carrick's would be on the other side of Dee Dee's. So you both kind of stick your heads out at the same time, and you look at each other as you're sticking your heads out, and you're both aware that something's going on. Dee Dee, you're snoring like a beast in there.
Finally on a bed.
I'm going to grab my staff and step out. Did you hear that?
I did. Any idea what it is?
I'm gonna take my staff and I'm gonna bang on Dee Dee's door and say, "Get up! Something is awry."
Well, if we're going downstairs, I'm getting my stuff.
All right.
Yep. And then I'll start walking downstairs. Once I know Dee Dee is actually up, I'm gonna kind of open up the door and make sure he's starting to sit up.
How long does it take me to put my armor on?
I was actually getting ready to ask you that question.
How long does it take to put on leather armor?
Leather armor? I'm not sure.
I mean, it's not going to be too. It's not like I'm wearing full plate or anything.
No, you're correct. It wouldn't be like putting on full plate. I imagine it would probably still take you a minute to get the armor on. But Dee Dee, you're woken up as Carrick is knocking on your door, and Ari, you're getting ready at this time. You hear another blast from a horn, and then an answering horn that's a little bit closer.
Light armor, by the way, is 1 minute. Medium is 5. Heavy is 10. According to Roll20.
All right. Well, with the second blast of horns too, the call and then the answering call, Lily wakes up. So Dee Dee, you're woken up. So the three of you are converging at the end, correct?
Well,
Yes.
what's going on? Why are you waking me up?
Something's going on outside, and I'm gonna notice that Arya is like struggling to put her armor on, and I'm going to like, let me help you with that, and I'm gonna start to buckle up her armor as we're walking. Keep moving, keep moving. I'll help you. I'll help you. So I've got like my staff is underneath my arm, and I'm kind of pushing her along, and I'm telling Dee Dee, something's going on out there. Those horns that doesn't sound right. We really let's check that out. I'd rather not get my throat cut in the middle of the night, and I'm buckling up her armor as we're moving towards the door.
All right.
Yeah, especially I thought I locked my door, but
Well, he was banging on your door with the staff.
no,
Well,
he opened the door.
Oh, did he?
You should do better. You should do a better job at locking your door.
Yeah, apparently,
Apparently.
He can cast knock.
Yeah, pretty much. No doors. That door's not going to stop me. I can promise you that. I can cast knock at will.
All right, so the three of you are making your way towards. As soon as you make it outside of the front door of the inn, you can see the same sort of glow that Krillock could see from the ship, and it's coming from a westerly direction from you guys, and it seems like there's turtles that are sort of sticking their heads out of their homes and looking to see what's going on, and you can see there's only a couple that are moving in the direction of the glow, and the rest of them, as they're seeing it, they start bringing themselves back inside, and you can hear as like heavy bars are being placed down behind doors as you're passing by some of these homes. But you can see that there's only a few. In your general area, there's 2 turtles that are currently making their way in the direction of the fire. One of them is hefting a shield and a longsword, and the other is hefting 2 just like battle axes. And they're as quickly as they can hurrying in the direction of the glow.
I'm gonna yell at them. What's happening? What's going on?
Can't stop. Probably a raid. And they're just gonna keep going in that direction. You
I'm
can
gonna
go
cast
with them as well if you want.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
Oh, this doesn't sound good.
All right, Krillock. I know that you are hauling ass, so I haven't forgotten about you. I know that you're hauling ass. So Lily, as you're woken up by this second blasts of horns,
She's gonna grab her armor, start putting it on while walking, yelling for Krillock. And when she figures out that he is not on the ship, she's gonna look and see where the horn came from.
okay. You can see, because you're aware that there's something that's not right. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the glow off in the distance that Krillock saw. You do not see Krillock anywhere around you, though. He's not answering your calls, and the ship appears, for all intents, to be abandoned, as there's no one answering as you're calling out.
Okay, so she's just gonna grab her shield and her bag after getting her armor on, which, if done hastily, it takes about a minute, it says, or it's 4 minutes. And then she's just gonna book it towards the light.
Okay.
I'm going to open my bag and like just motion out my owl. See what's going on, and it's gonna shoot out towards the
Okay.
the direction of what stuff is going on. And when that happens, I'm gonna put my hand on Dee Dee's shoulder, guide me, and I'm gonna tilt my head back. My eyes are gonna go white, and so I can see out the owl's eyes as it's screaming ahead.
Okay.
See in all this, or is it bright enough to see, or do I need assistance?
You can see there's still the low burning lights that are out in what are the common pathways throughout the town. You're making your way towards the outskirts, towards you're making your way towards the western river on Hanunah. The same one that you came in on. You know that it's not the direction to get to the moor that you came in on, but it's the same river that the ship is currently moored on. But you can see. I'm sorry, I had another thought there in the middle of that, and now I've lost that thought. Oh yes, so your owl shoots upward, and you lock your vision in, and it can see off in the distance that there is a larger building that is currently. It's a larger building that has what appears to be more of a thatch roof, kind of like a palm frond thatch roof, like dried palm fronds. It looks to be about a 3-story. It looks the same Adobe style, but with the palm fronds, and the roof is currently on fire of this building, and it's starting like the other pieces of it. Though they're not burning, it has turned into a bit of an inferno from the looks of it. It's hard to make out any details past that. As your owl starts to get closer, it breaks the 100-foot that it can maintain. You can maintain the vision through the owl, and you snap back to your own vision.
There's a building on fire. And I'm going to, telepathy-wise, I'm going to tell him to find Krillock. So
Okay.
so now he's off trying to find Krillock. And we're just going to keep running, and I'm going to tell the others that there's a large building ablaze. Definitely some sort of an attack. Be ready. And we're just going to start double timing it down to where this burning is going on.
All right. So Krillock, you're the first one to arrive. I know you're here, but I know you're not here.
I'm here, yeah.
Yeah. So you're the first one to arrive. As you come around the corner, it seems like it hasn't been too long since you just came down this path. But as you come back around this corner, you can see that the home that your uncle is staying in under the care of Tonka is ablaze. What you see around it is probably exactly what you would expect at this point. There's a couple of corpses. There is a little bit of fighting between what appears to be two Total warriors and probably a half dozen lizard folk. So what would you like to do? We're not going to a map on this for now, but just what would you like to do as you come into this?
If I see the two Total warriors over there fighting lizard folk, I'm gonna run up there to help them out as quick as possible.
All right, so you jump into this. Okay, so give me. You're probably going to get 2 rounds. What would essentially be 2 rounds before anything else happens at this point. So just go ahead and give me 2 attack rolls. As these 2 turtles are locked in battle with these 6 lizard folk. They're back to back at this point. They both have long swords. One of them has a shield, and the other has a short sword in their other hand. And they're rotating in a. They're rotating in a practice style, and they're rotating in a practice style that it seems like they've almost done this before. You imagine that this is probably one of the paired patrols that travels through the town at night, and they probably just happened across this as it was kicking off. They're surrounded by these 6 lizard folk, and you, in your typical barbarian fashion, pick up speed, and almost in your head as you start, your blood starts pumping. You can hear not just your heartbeat in your head, but you can hear your footsteps, and they sound thunderous with everyone as you are filled with rage, seeing this building on fire, knowing that the most important person to you was inside of this not an hour ago. Give me 2 attacks coming into this.
All right, obviously, I'm gonna go into rage for this. She said.
I assumed. Okay, so you come blasting through. You miss with your axe strike as the one that you're trying to hit as you come in, but you barrel into his side, and he's thrown 15 feet across the way and lands prone on the ground. As you do so, you take his companion by surprise, and you swing around with your axe, and you cleanly sever his head from his shoulders. You get locked into this fight, joining with these other 2, understanding that yours is more of a practice of chaos and controlling that, and theirs is more of discipline. So instead of joining their ranks directly, you sort of, stand off so as not to be detrimental towards their own practices. At this point, the fight continues on for a few moments, you parrying some blows, but Krillock, your bird comes flying back to you in a fuss, and then it just kind of does a circle and hoots. Well, I guess, and then heads its way back in the direction that it came from. So you would take that to mean that it's found him, and he's in the direction that you're going. Okay?
I will go as fast as I can in that direction and tell the others, hurry! And then I'll just keep moving that way.
Okay. Lily, you are not the quickest of creatures, but you are definitely making your way in towards the direction that you're seeing this glow. I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to keep the river off to your right and just continue up the path towards the glow that's ahead of you.
Yeah. Is there anybody on the ground in this area? Turtles?
No, not in the area that you're in. You're outside of the town proper where you're at, so.
Okay.
All right. Krillock, I would like for you to give me 2 more attack rolls, please. All right, both of those hit. Again, you come across and you basically cleave another lizard folk almost completely through from his hip up to his clavicle. And your axe, as you're wrenching it free, you try to swing on another one, but due to trying to pull it free from your first victim, he has enough time to dodge out of the way. Give me just 1 second because I accidentally closed something that I need. So we'll just let the suspense lie here as these two turtle are continuing their dance as they're defending one another as best they know how. So now it's gone from 6 down to 4 lizard folk. Let me see. So 3 of them are attacking these 2 turtles. They are doing their best to defend against this. However, one of them does take a hefty smack from a heavy club. And you, my friend, are going to have to dodge one as well. I'm assuming a 12 doesn't hit your natural 17 AC.
Does not.
All right, so we'll say that this heavy club comes swinging around, and you, even though you're in a rage and you see this coming, you turn your back to angle it so that the blow deflects off your shell and slams the heavy club down into the ground, and it jerks backwards in an attempt to regain its footing. As it does that, we are going to say that the other 3 that are currently traveling in this direction, you make it into eyesight, and you can now see this burning building. You see the 2 turtles that are fighting and defending against 3 lizard folk, and you can see Krillock is currently engaged with one as well. As you can see, as you're coming up on the scene, you notice as a small scaly figure comes darting out of the darkness behind the lizard folk that's currently trying to get away from Krillock, and Socks jumps up into the air with his dagger out and just jams it right into the back of this thing's neck, and it falls limp to the ground.
You go, Socks. All right. Are we within 120 feet of it?
Yes.
I will fire off a firebolt at the one that Krillock is fighting.
That one just got killed by Socks. There's the 2 turtles that are currently defending against 3 lizard folk, however.
Yeah, just pick one for me. I fire off a firebolt at one of those, and I will scream out, "We are here!"
And I'll be running across the compound to get there. It's going to take me a little while, though.
Okay.
I want to, like...
It's 120 feet.
What is this building that's on fire? Like, I want to check this out, like, see what I can see, and see if I can help, like, extinguish it.
So it is an Adobe type building. It's obviously sort of the mud brick that you see architecturally throughout Hanunah. It had a palm tree thatch roof on it, and it's about 3 stories. And within that 3 stories, it seems very large and elaborate for this town, but it is currently just a blazing inferno on the top, at least. And the top floor you can see as flames are sort of licking out of the windows up on top. It's difficult from your current position to tell what's going on the inside. However, you can see through the windows on the ground floor, at least, that there are flames on that level as well.
But do I see people, like, in the windows? Is anyone trying to, like, get out?
No, you're not seeing anything like that. You're not seeing anything like that from where you are.
Okay, then I would like to move closer so I could see if I can help. If there's people there that need help.
Okay, so you're investigating. Okay, give me a perception check, please.
Can't use my passive.
I could, and I take it into account.
Well, there it is, right there.
All right, well there you go. All right. You don't see anything from where you are now, but you're with your speed. If you were to do nothing but try to make it,
Yeah, I'd double it. Double time it.
because you move at fourth level, you're moving at
50.
50 feet.
Yeah.
So if you dashed as an action, you're closing in 100 feet. So not this turn, but the next turn, you would actually be able to get to the windows and start looking through for people.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Because I feel that seeing what's going on over there with everyone there, I don't think I'm needed there.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So Ari, you are booking it. I'm assuming that you're gonna dash since you're not using any ranged attacks. So you're just gonna dash towards the fight.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm at 25, so it's going to take me a while. A little bit. What's that? 20 seconds, 50 seconds, 30, somewhere around there. Half a minute. Ish.
Okay. So Krillock.
Yes.
You see very clearly as let me rephrase that. You don't necessarily see clearly, but in your rage, you're getting ready to lash out at this lizard folk a second time. But you notice as he leaps back to try to get some range between you and him, and he's hefting his heavy club back up into both hands. And the next thing you see is Socks coming in with his dagger and just like lands on the guy's shoulder and stabs right down through the neck. And as he's falling limp in front of you, Socks pulls the dagger loose, and you can see that he's looking around for the next threat. So your turn. There's 3 lizard folk that are currently attacking the 2 turtles that are defending each other in front of this burning house, and you know that Carrick and the crew are there because you can see Dee Dee sprinting towards the house, Ari behind him running as fast as she can, and you see Carrick as he's just released a firebolt at the lizard folk.
I'm gonna find the one lizard folk that's furthest away from the 2 fighting, so as to not interfere with their stuff, and take a great X swing at the furthest one away.
All right, so 2 swings at it, if it takes 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you get 2 attacks per round. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I think I forgot to put that in. I was looking at a thing.
All right, so not only do you cleave the first one through about its midsection, but you manage to catch the next one off guard as it's parrying one of the strikes from the other turtles, and you do the same to it. So now it is just the one lizard folk who is not liking his odds at this moment, and he is going to attempt to disengage and start running towards the river. At this point, Sock, seeing everything that's going on as well, is going to start giving chase. But Lily, you come around the corner at this point, and you can see as the only thing that you can see taking in this first moment is the burning house. You can see Krillock standing there with his axe out, and you see corpses, as well as 2 other turtles and your other friends coming in from the side.
Okay, so there are other turtles on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, so she's gonna run up to the closest turtle and cast Spare the Dying and see like if it helps at all. She's trying to make sure that these people don't die.
Okay. All right, so it does. This turtle was obviously mortally wounded, but with your help, it seems like it has stabilized.
Okay, and if she has any more movement, she's gonna run to the next one and ready to do something else.
I don't think she'll be able to make it to another one this time, but that will take us to the other three that are coming up to the building. So Carrick.
All right, so the one that's running away,
Yes.
I will continue running towards it at my normal speed, and I will fire a firebolt at it.
Okay.
Is a 13 hit.
I lost my sheet again. No, it doesn't. So
All
in the
right,
darkness, it just sort of zips
Yeah.
over your shoulder.
Okay. Seeing that the bolt missed and its intensity wasn't the greatest, I will allow the miss.
Okay. All right. So Ari, you're closing the gap, but you can see that now that there's only one lizard folk that's still standing at this point, and it is making a retreat towards the river.
I'll follow it. Why
Okay.
not?
All right. And Dee Dee, you can make it up to the windows, or are you going to divert your attention towards the runner?
No, I'm focusing on the building.
Okay. All right, you make it up. You check the first window. There's nothing. You obviously have shit tons of speed. So you check the first window and there's nothing. You can see that the flames are pretty intense inside. As you make your way to the next window to check, you can see that there is a. It's hard to tell if they're alive or dead, but there is an unconscious turtle just inside the window on the floor.
Is the window is it a glass window? I'm assuming
It is a glass window, yeah.
I will attempt to. I'll see if I can open it. If not, I'll try to break it and go through.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're a level 4 monk on paper. So in person, I'm gonna say that Dee Dee is probably capable of taking his elbow and breaking a window.
I think he would be able to.
So it's pretty easy for you to break that window out and fashion a way in without getting cut. You're pretty dexterous. Now, the real challenge for Dee Dee at this point, though, is that he's now trying to heft an exceptionally beefy turtle. They're not small creatures, so I'm going to need an athletics check from you if you're going to try to remove this turtle through the window. You manage to get the turtle up around your shoulder and get leaned up against the window frame. Unfortunately, as you try to heft, you just can't. You make some momentum, you get it moving, but it's just too much at this moment. You suck in smoke. You start to cough violently, and you just can't. You can't manage to get this turtle out the window. So if you want, we can stop there. You can give it a go next come around.
Yeah, I don't think I'd give up on. Didi wouldn't give up on the first, one try.
Okay. So that takes us back to Krillock. So this lizard folk, not liking its odds, has decided that it's going to take flight towards the river. You could probably catch up to it with your speed.
I will try and catch up to him with my speed.
All right, give me one swing on it then. All right. Unfortunately, it senses the danger and puts on a sprint of speed just to stay just out of reach of that great axe.
I meant to do reckless attack on that. Oh well, next time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, never mind. I could. Never mind. Carry on.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. And that's gonna take us to Socks, who is going to go for the gold on this one, and he's gonna use his movement to get within attacking range with the thrown dagger, but with disadvantage. Because if I'm remembering this right, hold on. I think daggers have a 60-foot range at disadvantage. I think they're 30-60s. They're 20-60s. Okay, yeah. So with disadvantage, Sox is going to go for the gold here. And I will do these publicly. Oof. Nope. So Sox takes his dagger and sort of like in his own little fit of rage takes it and just hurls it at this thing after running as hard as he can. And Krillock, you can see it as it doesn't come anywhere near either one of you, but you can see the dagger come flying out and just kind of like plant itself into the grass. Lily. No, I think it's Lily. It should be Krillock, Sox, then Lily, then Carrot, then Ari, then Dee Dee was the way I've been doing it, I think.
Okay.
The two turtles have stopped. They're catching their breath at this point.
How far away is the lizard that's trying to break it to the water?
That lizard would be on the other side of this birding house from you.
Okay. She's just gonna run to the next turtle and try and stabilize it again.
Okay.
And then keep running, trying to help as many people as she can.
Okay, so Lily is trying to hurry from turtle to turtle and attempt to stabilize as many as she can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So Carrick, that takes us back to you.
All right. So after that last miss, I am going to continue to run at it, and this time I will cast Magic Missile at level 2 at the back of this thing's head.
All right, well, that is a definite hit. So, unerringly, the magic missiles weave their way through the air between you and it. And Ari, you see as they zoom over top of you, they keep going right over Socks. And then Krillock, they split you and they come in and just conjugate they converge. That's the word I was looking for. They converge right on this thing's head in front of you as its head just sort of implodes and explodes at the same time.
Oh, that's impressive.
Glorious! Now you have lizard entrail brains all over you.
Okay, so...
Well, I stopped running.
All right. So this thing's head's exploded. Ari, you stop running. Anything else?
I look for the other turtle, the ones that were previously engaged with the group of lizards.
Mm-hmm.
See how they're doing. And go.
They are obviously injured. They have some lacerations on them, and they're obviously exhausted. You imagine that they train, but this was a lot on two of them at one time. So they're thankful that they're out of it, but at the same time, they seem to still be trying to catch up with what the hell's going on.
I'll head over to them. I don't know how far I'm away from them though.
You could probably use your movement and get to them.
I will get to them.
Okay. Well, they're just kind of like looking aghast at this point at the inferno of this building.
And I will ask them, how are you guys? Are you all right? What's going on here? Why is this a thing?
These lizard folk, we saw them coming out. We saw them coming out, and they set it on fire. And we saw they set it on fire. And they like start looking around at all the turtles. Like there's elderly turtles that are sort of on the ground in the general area that are obviously injured.
Why are there more of them, and why this building? Is there people inside?
We don't know. We couldn't go check. And then one of them starts rushing towards the closest turtle and starts trying to check to see if they can help them. And then the other one starts rushing towards the door and sort of kicks it in.
Go to the door with him. I imagine they're faster than me.
I don't know. It's like 30 feet.
That's faster than me. I'm 25.
Okay. Well, they're also exhausted, so it's probably you two rushing there, and it's just with an act of force, it's just gonna kick the door in. Dee Dee.
I'm gonna try to pick him back up, push him through that window.
All right, give me another
Or-
athletics.
She.
No. Go ahead. Now, can I see how close am I to him, and can I see him trying to push him through the window?
Probably would be able to see the window, and you would probably be. I would say yes. You can definitely
Wouldn't he was like seen me? Because I would have passed them both up
Yeah.
running.
I would have
front.
seen him going over there.
ahead of him. Yes.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is now you're inside of this building. You checked 2 different windows. You're inside of this building. You broke the window out, but yes, you would be able to see him in the window, and you would see that he's trying to hoist a turtle out.
All right. Seeing him fail at that, I would like to cast from my chronology. Trying to find it. Coronal shift. As a reaction after you see a creature, you can make an attack, an ability, or a saving throw. You can force the creature to re-roll. So, as he goes to pick him up, Krillock is going to like glow a little bit white, put his hand out.
Carrot,
Yeah, sorry,
I'm Krillock.
I have got to get that right.
Learn your name.
And then when I get as close as I can within my movement, I'll put my hand out, and it'll be like a bright flash of light, and it's gonna almost reverse for just a second, a split second, and allow Dee Dee another chance to hoist him out.
All right, is there a range on that?
30 feet. Am I within 30 feet?
Sure, because I like it. Do another athletics check, please. You dig deep and you feel like you're giving it your all, but you were just having a hard time getting this. This is a huge mass of shell and meat. It's not easy to hoist out of a window.
Do I have any time to do anything else, or is that it for me right now?
It depends on what you're looking to do.
Well, now that I'm seeing that physically I'm having a hard time, I'd like to see if I can, maybe take bed sheets off his bed, to give me some leverage to carry him out.
Yeah, you could use the rest of this time that I'm going to give you
To fashion something up that would help me.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, definitely. You could definitely do that.
So like taking like the bed sheets and I don't know, breaking some chairs or something to make a gurney or something like that.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, definitely. You can certainly do that. So that's going to take us back to Krillock, who just had a lizard folk head explode in front of you.
First thing I'm gonna do is look around and see if there's any other lizard folk around.
Make a perception. Not that you can see.
I'm gonna haul ass for the burning building.
All right.
So using all my speed and was my action perception or the perception, or was it?
You could dash
Okay.
to make it back to the building.
All right, I'm dashing to make it back to the building to try and find old Unky Clint Trap.
Okay. All right. So Socks, not really knowing what to do at this moment, is just kind of, he sees as you've turned around and you've started sprinting back towards the burning building, and he's just gonna, as you reach him and keep going, he's just gonna turn and do his best to try and keep up, which obviously he's not gonna be able to do, but he's gonna give it his best. Yeah, he's not even asking questions at this point. He's literally just watching and trying to follow your lead with what's going on, unless you want to yell anything specific to him.
Nah, I'm fucking blinded right now.
Okay. Then that will take us back to Lily, who I'm assuming you're still doing battlefield triage.
Yep, just making my way up.
All right. Well, for what it's worth, you are saving lives.
Yeah, I know. This is what she would be doing.
So, the healer's job is never done, and they are never given the proper respect. But-
So happy I got this spell. Like a day ago.
Well, so that's gonna take us back to Carrick again.
Would I be able? I'm going to continue to run 30 feet, so I'm going to assume that that's going to get me to the wall since I was within 30 feet.
Yes.
And in seeing what he was trying to pull out, knowing how heavy this thing is, and I'm not the strongest dwarf in the world, is it possible for me to use a magic missile spell to blast out the lower part of that wall where the door frame is, to make it easier to pull him out?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then I will blow a level 2 casting of magic missile at that door frame and try to basically make it so that we can just drag him out as much as we can instead of pulling him out.
Yeah, certainly.
All right, so I'll do that as I'm running, and I'll blast 2 out, and as I'm doing that, I'll yell out, Dee Dee's trying to pull one out the back. We need help. And I'll continue to run, and I'll get over there and try to assist in pulling this large turtle from the burning house.
All right, so there are 4 magic missiles erupt from you, and they blast into this door frame in a square-like pattern, very evenly spaced, and it sort of blasts out. Dee Dee, you had taken the turtle off of this window frame at this point, and started to fashion the sheets around it. And as you're doing this blast erupts, and it's sort of the plaster kind of flies inward. It's not propelled at a force that causes you any harm, but you get sort of flechetted in a not in a painful way, but sort of like a holding your hand outside of the window when you're driving down the road and a bug hits it kind of way. So super detailed. So it goes blasting across the room, and you look up, and there's Carrick, who's holding a hand out towards you, offering some sort of assistance, like he's waiting for you to hand him part of this bed sheet, like he knew what your plan was. And now you are ready, after Ari, to do whatever you'd like to do. Ari, this turtle has kicked the door in, and you look around and you're not seeing anything in the immediate area, and the turtle looks over at you and says, I'll go third, you start second. And it rushes towards the staircase. What you want to do is up to you.
I will go second.
Okay.
I'm guessing I'm going to second floor is what he's saying. What is the smoke level and
It's pretty intense, but your stature being lower to the ground actually gives you a slight advantage as the smoke is rising.
what
So-
is visibility here?
Anything, it's pretty heavily obscured with smoke, but you can still see probably about 10 feet around you.
And how big is this building?
3 stories,
No, like
3 floors,
width and height, width and length.
width and height. If you're talking in terms of like, so let's look at this sort of like an inn for the fashion that this existed for. The ground floor appears to be kind of a common area, a kitchen, a dining area. And then as you make your way, as you crest the second floor stairs, as you crest the second floor, the turtle that was in front of you continues the loop around, going up the next staircase, and you can see that this is just kind of a long hallway. It looks like there's different rooms. There's a room immediately to your left at the stairs that would be the end room on this side. And then there's 5 rooms on one side, 4 on the other, adjacent to the stairs, and then another room on the end. So you're looking at 11 rooms if I just did my math right in my head.
I'll go with that. Yes. So I will be checking doors. What do we got? Doorknobs, I'm guessing, right? What do we got here?
It would be doorknobs.
I will be testing it through at least a cloth, feeling if they're hot before I'm actually grabbing them, and stay
Okay.
a bit low if I can,
Mm-hmm.
and just testing doors, see if they open.
All right, I'm gonna say for this round, with your movement to get up here, you're gonna be able to test. You're gonna be able to test and check probably 2 rooms. So with the first 2 rooms, you find that they're safe to open, and you don't find any survivors or corpses at all. There's nobody occupying those 2 rooms.
Okay, that will work. What do I see for like flames? Is it just
Um,
right now?
I am not. I'm like, if my dad is or was watching this, he would probably be very upset with me because I'm probably not accurately describing the way that fire works. But thankfully, this is a fantasy world, and I can say things however I want to.
You're in control of the fire.
Now you know I can judge you too.
I know you can judge me too, but you're smarter than that because I can kill your character. Um. So it seems like the majority of the flames at this point, you imagine, are probably on. You pass through quite a bit on the ground level, where there were some open windows that were allowing oxygen still to come in. On the second floor, it's not quite as bad as it was on the first. I know the third floor is in bad shape.
I'm not moving up one side and down the other. I'm going back and forth.
Okay.
So by the time I get to the end of the hallway, all the doors
Gotcha.
will be open.
Gotcha.
Unless I see anything that resembles flames. I mean, I won't actually possibly see flames, but I can see the light they produce.
Okay. All right.
I'll walk towards the end of the hallway if the end of the hallway is on fire, or it looks like it is.
At this point, as you're checking these 2 rooms, it seems like you will be able to check these doors.
Okay.
So we'll just plan for that, and if anything else happens, then we'll go with it.
Sounds good.
All right. So Dee Dee, the wall has erupted, and there is a Carrick offering you assistance.
Well, with my makeshift little sling I made, I'll hand him one side of the little sling, and then I'll start just fucking putting all my weight, full sprint, pulling like a sled.
Okay.
Or a sled dog.
With the 2 of you combined, and the fact that you made an easier ledge to get this thing out, I don't think the little roll was really necessary. I think with both of you putting your weight into this, you will manage to pull this turtle free.
Yeah, I'd keep going to like a good distance, like 15, 20 feet away from the building. And if I have any more movement, I'd be going back in.
Okay. Since you are having to do this, even though you are getting help, since you are having to do this, and this is a very heavy creature, you're probably moving at half speed at this point, and it is taking your action to physically pull them. So no movement this round.
Okay.
All right, and that takes us back to Krillock.
Haven't made it back to the building yet.
Yes, at this point you would have been probably about 10 feet away, honestly, from the front door of this building.
I'd be making my way to my uncle's room as quick as what floor was he on?
Second.
So I'd be making my way up there.
Okay. So as you crest the top of the stairs, you can see as Ari has just exited the second room at the top of the stairs, and your uncle's is the far room at the end of this level. So you make it in. You rush past Ari, and you make it to the door.
Kicking it down to see what's going on in there.
All right, so you kick the door down, and there's no one in there. There's nothing. There's no body. There's no nothing. The only thing that you can see is the shaft of what was his weapon is laid out. No, wait, never mind. Scratch that. There's nothing there.
I'm gonna turn around and I guess start looking through other. Now, I'm still kind of raging here, so I'm gonna try and go out and. I'm just looking for my uncle now at this point. Like if I'm kicking down every door on my way out to look for my uncle.
Okay. With your movement, I would say that you'd be able to check 2 more doors on this turn. So as you come out, you kick the door open to the left. There's nothing. You kick the door open to the right. There's nothing.
All right, that's my turn.
All right. Okay, so Socks at this point, he's watching everything that's going on around him, and he's like standing outside this door. This building is on fire. Krillock just ran into it. Socks is like kind of hopping around, trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do to help. And he sees Lily, and he goes like rushing towards her as she's running towards a turtle. What do I do?
Socks would know my uncle, right?
Would he?
I feel like he would. Like, me and Socks have been adventuring together long enough. Like, he would know my uncle, so like he would know why I ran in there looking.
Okay, so he would know that this is your uncle's house.
Yeah, I
where he
believe
would
you.
stay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that would definitely change the way that he would act at this point. So Socks is gonna.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Socks is gonna rush through the front door after Krillock, but as Krillock is making his way to the second floor, Socks is gonna stay on ground level, and he's gonna start like rushing around looking to see if he can find anybody that needs help. Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Same traffic.
Is there any more turtles? Because that's 3 or so now.
You have 3. I had 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's done a rush over to the other one, and she's like just putting this weird leaf in their mouth that happens to stabilize things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I said I had 4, what I meant was I had that you had saved 4 at this point.
Well, the next one, what if there's more? She's just doing the same thing. She's trying to make sure everybody is okay as can be.
There are more. At this point, though, you're starting to notice that as you get to the next one, and as you look, you know that there's nothing you can do for this. And you move on to the next one, and you find, you get what I'm saying? Like,
did she see the lizard off to the side? Like a lizard that looks like it's not dead yet?
So you're talking about one of the lizard folk that was engaged in combat at this point.
She's thinking about, like, because the turtles, she's not going to be able to save anymore, it seems, at this point.
No. You found one that was past your capabilities, but then you immediately could have found another one that you could do something for. I'm just trying to paint a timeline here, because you're starting to get to the point to where it's going to be the first 4 that you came across, it was you could do something for, but now you're reaching a timeline where it's going to be fewer that you can do anything for.
Yeah.
So Lily, if Lily wants to make the decision, it would be entirely up to her as to whether she wants to keep looking for turtles that she could help, or if she wants to divert her attention toward trying to maintain one of the lizard folk and have something that can be questioned afterwards.
I know how much this group loves talking to hostages.
I think you've got the wrong group.
She's just gonna go to a turtle and try and save the next turtle.
Okay. That's the other group with the cat that finds traps with his face.
Delicious.
Okay, so Carrick, you've assisted Dee Dee at this point with dragging this turtle out.
All right. So the turtle is out, and I'm going to turn and go back inside, and I'm going to say, "Anyone in here need help?" And I'm gonna, kind of walk through, looking in each room, looking for anything else, any other survivors, and I'll tell Dee Dee, I'll see if I can find some others. When you drag that one to safety, come back, and I'll go in and look around. Maybe I can look at maybe 2 rooms with 30 feet of movement.
Well, when you call out as you're making your way in, you can actually hear Sox's voice over the inferno, and it's, "I got one in here! It's in the kitchen! I got one in here! So,
I will head towards him.
Okay.
As best I can.
Yeah. So you make it. We're gonna say that you make it around the corner into the kitchen. There's a lot of smoke that's coming through here, but you can see as this tiny kobold is physically giving it his absolute 110%, trying to move this massive turtle, and he is not making any progress whatsoever. But he is definitely giving it his damnedest. So from there, we're gonna move back to Ari.
I'm gonna keep looking indoors if I can.
All right. The next couple of doors that you find are not closed completely, so you don't even have to test the knobs on these. You just kind of like push them forward.
I'll also be yelling, "Is anybody in here?" as I'm opening these doors, and getting my hammer out.
Getting your hammer out.
Just in case the door is not openable, I'm gonna bang on it with the hammer.
Gotcha.
I'm not strong enough to bust the door down.
All right, you do find a turtle in the second room that you check, and they appear to be unconscious on the floor.
That's not good. Is there a window in this place?
Each room does have a window.
I will go to the window here and open the window and scream out that I need help in this room if anybody's out there.
Okay.
Does I need help? Please help.
All right, your call is heard, because at this point, of course, there's one turtle that's outside that's helping check turtles that are unconscious. I say bodies. That sounds horrible when I say it that way. There's a turtle out there that's currently trying to triage. The other 2 turtles that arrived with the 3 of you are also triaging outside, while you, of course, know that the other one is upstairs, which you haven't heard anything out of that turtle at this point. Krillock, you are not far away. You're only a couple of rooms down, so you do hear Ari yelling that there's a turtle and that she needs help. But
No, can I tell the age of the people here, the turtles here?
they're obviously elderly.
The one that I found.
Elderly.
Okay.
Dee Dee.
Since I got that guy or that turtle to safety, I'm gonna take my little makeshift sling and go back in, yelling, where Carrick went, or look, yelling for people.
Okay.
Because I don't know, did I hear Socks like where I was?
You probably wouldn't have heard Socks. Carrick would definitely hear you though, and I'm assuming would probably call out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd make my way to where he is.
All right. With your passive perception, you can see that the roof, the ceiling in this area, what would be the floor for the second, it seems like is starting to take some serious structural damage. So you're not really sure how long you have to get this done.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Carrick that we're got it rush. The ceiling's gonna come down soon.
Okay. All right. So
Do I make it to the body?
yes, and I would say that you could lash up this particular individual.
Okay.
Okay. Secret rolls, secret rolls. All right. So that's going to bring us back around to Krillock. You've heard Ari at this point call out that there is someone here. She is, I think, if I'm doing my math right, 3 rooms away from you at this point, because you've both kind of been splitting the difference. 4, 3. So yeah, there's 4 rooms left. Ari is in. So there's 4 rooms left that haven't been checked, and Ari is calling out that she has a turtle in her room, and you know that she's on your floor because you passed by her to get up here.
I'm gonna bypass the other rooms and just go to Ari and see what she's looking at.
All right. There's an elderly turtle that is unconscious on the floor of this room. It is not your uncle.
I'm gonna drag him out.
Okay.
I'll help as best I can.
All right. Between the two of you, you can definitely drag out this unconscious turtle. You'll probably make it just outside of the door, I would think. Yeah. Got a map going on in here. I really should have done one here, but it would have taken so much time for everybody to move and make decisions. So I wanted to do this quicker, believe it or not. Okay. So that's going to take us to Socks, who is helping to get... Socks starts helping, trying to get this turtle situated, and then just kind of looks up at the two of you and is like, I'm fucking useless for carrying things. I'm gonna go look for more.
Good idea, Socks.
And Socks just takes off like in a flash.
But don't stay too long.
So Krillock, on your way down with Ari, Socks sort of rushes past you on the stairs, and bottom floor is clear, and just keeps going. All right. So Lily, keeping up the same tactic.
Yeah, same thing. Just trying to save as many as she can. She did notice, I'm pretty sure, the one that Dee Dee and Carrick brought out, so she's gonna go check that one and make sure he's okay and think of the next. So that's the one she's saving this time.
Okay. All right. So Carrick, I'm assuming that you and Dee Dee are going to be moving in unison on this one. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, as I'm approaching and Dee Dee runs past me, I am going to cast Tensor's Floating Disc underneath the one that I saw that was pointed out by the little guy. So it'll appear below him and pick him up. And then I'm going to move to the closest door and have it follow me out with him on it. And I'll tell Dee Dee, see if you can find more. I got this one. And as soon as I can get it clear enough, I mean, it's 30 feet of movement, so I'm going to go out and kind of hook, to the side and have it follow me out and then get him away. And then I'll pull it out from underneath him. I don't really know if I can pull it out from underneath him. Whenever he gets him clear, I will drop the spell and drop him and then go back in.
Okay.
Because I don't know that I can, in reading it, I don't think I can tilt it. And I don't think that I could really put it underneath in anything without casting it underneath it.
Yeah, no, it's a circular horizontal plane of force. So
yeah. So I will cast that, and I'll pull that one out and drop it, and then I will prepare to head back in again, as much movement as I can to get to the next level if anybody needs help.
Okay.
Okay, so if he would have done that, I would have took my sling.
Well, so all right, hold on. So let me. We'll get to that in just a second. So Ari, you're helping Krillock, right, with getting this turtle down and out, correct?
Was that who is that asking?
Ari,
I thought that was. For some reason, I heard my name and then didn't acknowledge it.
it's fine.
I
You
will
were
be
helping
him.
Krillock, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be helping him, but I'm gonna take part of my cloak, see if I can't rip it off and douse it in water, and tell Krillock to breathe through this and do the same through me. It's not gonna stop the smoke, but it'll stop particles from getting in your lungs.
Easy enough. You've got a water skin on you. If you
I
grabbed
do.
all of your
The
equipment,
cloak.
you've got your
I
water
did.
skin on you.
Yes, I did. I didn't go out with anything. I went out fully because
Perfect.
it's in a backpack. I'm just gonna grab the whole thing.
Gotcha. All right, perfect then. So Dee Dee, I know that your last go around you were slinging this thing up. So since the tensor's floating disc, it is created 3 feet above ground in an unoccupied space, is the way it reads. But what we're gonna say is that with you, you kind of hoist this turtle up and get it in position as he's casting the spell, and then you drape the turtle across the disc. So now you've still got your sling. The turtle is draped across the disc. He has taken it out, and it's yours to do with what you want.
Then since I haven't heard, I don't know, did I hear Socks yelling that first floor was clear, or was that just like a?
Yes, you would have heard Socks yell first floor is clear.
Okay, so then I'll make my way to the stairs and start going up that way and get to the second floor if I, however much movement I have.
You can get up there and you can check a room. You're pretty quick. So you could like scoot right past Socks right as he's cresting the top of the stairs.
Okay, so there's a lot of people on the second floor already now.
Yes. Well, no. Now it would just be you and Socks on the second floor, and there's 4 rooms that haven't been checked yet.
Okay. All right, then I'll check a room on the second floor.
Okay. The door is halfway ajar already. You rush up, you kick it open, and there's nothing there.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd still keep yelling, anyone need help,
Okay. That's going to take us back to Krillock. So you have delivered this unconscious turtle outside safely.
I'm running back in to check the rooms I didn't check.
Okay.
I'll point out the rooms to him that I have checked, so we don't double check them.
All right. So you rush up. You can see as Dee Dee is starting to emerge from one of these 4 rooms. There's 3 left that haven't been checked. Socks is at a door that is now ajar, looking inside, and you go just past him and kick another door in, and you see nothing. But at that time, you hear Socks next to you saying, oh boy, this one doesn't look good.
I will run over to Socks and try and help out where I can there.
All right, you as you come around the corner, you can see it's not your uncle. Calm down over there. It's not your uncle. So you can see that though it's not your uncle, this one is not just unconscious. This one actually looks like it has been violently attacked with a bladed weapon. So there's blood splatter like across the wall that you can sort of see through the smoke, and there's obviously a heavy laceration around the neck, and it's probably it's obviously currently deceased. When I say currently, I mean like magic could bring it back, but not like a cure wounds spell.
So pretty bad off. Like, I'm gonna tell Socks, keep looking.
Yeah.
Keep looking.
Got it, boss. All right. Lily, more triage work?
Yep. I'm just trying to decide, like, is there more on the outside that aren't the ones they brought out, or is it just the ones they're bringing out now?
It's really difficult to tell in the cacophony of action that's going on around you. I will say MVP though, because like that's right now by my count, I've got 8 turtles that would have been dead that are not anymore.
Just the closest one. Since I was standing at one they brought out already, so I guess the next one that they brought out.
Okay. And that's going to take us to Krillock. Krillock.
Tom, you're Krillock.
Sorry, I was paying attention to the wife. Okay, so I'm gonna run up the stairs, and I'm gonna holler. Has anyone found another one?
Okay, so as you converge to the top of the stairs, you are there with Krillock, Dee, Socks, and yourself are at the top of the second floor at this point. So you're on the verge of the second floor. There's one room that has
And
not
me.
been checked yet. Are you there?
Yeah, I went back with them.
Oh yeah, I guess you would be running back in with him at this point.
Yes,
Because,
yes.
yeah, okay. So there's 5 of you that are currently there.
And I wouldn't have checked the same room as him. I would have checked a different room.
Okay, so you make it up there and you say that, and as you say that, Ari kicks open the last door to find that there's
Open.
nothing.
Nope, not kick.
Okay, opens the last door to find that there's nothing.
I ain't kicking no doors. I'm not that big.
Gotcha.
Okay, so no one says that they have one that needs to go out. We're all just standing there looking at each other.
No, but there's a third floor.
Okay, then I will continue to go upstairs to the third floor.
Okay.
And there's
If
definitely
as long as it's
somebody up there.
Yeah.
Because I've not seen him come down.
what's the flames look like now? I mean, are we looking
getting
bad
worse.
here?
It's getting worse. And as you're making it to the stairway to go up to the third floor, the other turtle is on his way. The turtle that went to the third floor is on his way down, and he says, "I've checked all we can. There's too much." And he starts making his way past you, like he's trying to get past you to go down the stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna look at I'll look at Krillock, and I'll wait for him to I'll look at him and say, I don't think we can do it much more. We need to get out. And I will hold the rest of my movement. If he moves down, then I'll start to move out as well. And
All right.
I'll be, if we do, I'm going to be double timing it out.
Okay, so with everyone standing there, I would like to note that at this point you hear as a loud cracking of timbers erupts from the direction that you know the kitchen to be in, where you just pulled that survivor out of. The one Dee that you saw and you thought it was looking structurally unsound. There's a large cracking of timbers as you can hear, and it sounds like the floor or that part of the ceiling well, I guess the floor because you're on the second level, just it collapses underneath the pressure and the weight. And as you look over in that direction, you can see as the third floor, once this collapses down, the third floor follows in suit and just sort of crumbles and starts to crack and halfway falls down, blocking the end of the hallway where your uncle's room would have been, Krillock.
Shit.
So that would take us to Dee at this point, I believe. Because I believe Ari was just check that room as she came back with Krillock. So, Dee.
With hearing that and already seeing it with my passive that I was looking at before, I would start. I tell everybody we need to go. This is about to fall down on us, and I start Booking it.
All right, so you start making your way out. Is anyone planning on doing anything other than getting out of this place at this point?
Not
Aside
at
from
this
you.
point.
Okay. Then everyone meets out in front of this inferno and looks back on it. And Krillock, I'm assuming that you're going to be moving from body to body, of unconscious body to unconscious body.
Correct.
All right, cool. Give me just 1 second.
Where is he going?
I'm building suspense, but I really gotta pee.
Uh-oh.
I'm being yelled at now.
I feel like I should be wearing a hat.
This is the hat that Krillock knitted for Lily. That's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah, but you're not like the only person wearing a hat. Just
That's because Bubba likes to hide. Eric has no hair, and JD normally wears a hat when he doesn't have good hair going on.
I don't even own a hat. But
There.
still.
There. There's a little bit right here and here, maybe some here.
Do you want some? I got some extra. If you want it.
I
There,
got plenty of
perhaps.
extra. It's just kind of falling back.
Oh, okay.
Suspensed yet?
Oh, was there suspense?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm
Is
going
it-
with number one over number
Here?
2. I like your shirt.
Always one. He
Oh
drinks
my
like a camel.
I drink a lot of water, and I really need to stop that if we're gonna not take but one break. So, anyway, you look at the bodies, you look at the unconscious turtles. You do not identify any of them as your uncle, but you also happen to notice that there's another face that's missing, and it's Tonka's.
All right, I'm gonna start looking around for Tonka as well.
Okay. Well, as you're looking around, obviously at this point, I'm assuming you're not just looking at unconscious turtles. You're looking around for maybe if somebody missed one.
Yeah.
All right. So Socks is following suit, and he's looking around while Lily is providing the triage. And what would the rest of you like to do at this point?
I'm going to ask
Love
him what he's looking for, and I will help. And what is it? What do they look like? Try to get
Like-
some kind of description.
Like me, but
What are they
older.
wearing? What are they wearing? Any clothing? And when they do that, I'll bring the owl back and send it, waiting for him to give me a description of what it looks like. And when he tells me what it looks like, I will go into a daze, and I will fly circles until I get out of range, looking for the 2 turtles he's described.
I'll be
So
going
you-
around the building looking for open windows and what's left. If there's anybody needing any type of help outside of where it's not on fire.
All right. Dee Dee?
I'm gonna try to help Lily. I don't know what I can help her with, but I'm going to try to help her with this crap.
And other buildings in the area.
Well, it's she's gonna explain like how to put a bandage on and like how to splash some water and whatnot, and she's just gonna like tell you to go check on the people she's already checked and see like if you can get them to wake up.
Right, and I will do that. I will
Okay.
try to follow the directions as best I can.
And Dee Dee drowns 3 turtles.
He's over there waterboarding.
All right.
They tell you everything.
So those of you, so Ari, I'm sorry, Ari, you said you were helping look too, right?
I'm looking around the building. Yes.
Looking around the building.
I'm
Okay.
looking to see if anybody might be screaming from the windows, or if there's something going on outside, and if there's any affected buildings next to this one. You know.
No on the affected buildings, largely because this is on the outskirts of like what would be considered the town proper. It's supposed to be more quiet. It has a little bit extra land. There's like a rock garden off to the side, and there's even a shuffleboard back in the back. But aside from that, no, there's really not. Don't laugh at me. Anyway, so yeah, there's not anyone yelling though. It's
Nobody hanging out of windows.
No one hanging out of windows. Nobody yelling.
That.
So the other two of you are searching, right? You're looking around. So perceptions. Let me get perceptions from you guys. Let me get one from the owl with advantage, obviously.
Does that include me or just everybody else?
If you were focusing on the building, I don't really need one from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you say you need one from everybody?
From you, Krillock, and Krillock's owl.
Sorry. I'm really trying to find like dark mode on Roll20.
It needs it, doesn't it?
Bad.
All right, so okay. So Krillock, you're just looking through your owl?
Well, I have to, because if I open up my eyes and look through myself, then I won't be able to see through the owl's eyes. So I'm just using the perception of the owl, looking for the description of the two turtles that I've been told.
Just making sure. All right. So you.
I mean, a nat 20, so I'm sticking with that.
Right. Well, with the nat 20, you don't see any more turtles in the area. From an aerial view, looking down, you're not seeing any more turtles that are unconscious or otherwise in this area, aside from the ones that have been moved over to the spot where the triaging is going on.
Lizards? Are there any lizards? Is there anything else around here that shouldn't be?
Not that you can see. That being said, though, Krillock, you hear a voice off not too far away from where you're at, and it's Socks, who is attempting to help in the search. He goes, "Buddy?" And you turn, and as you look, you can see that he's currently holding the walking stick shaft that was your uncle's.
Oh,
Buddy, I don't know, man. I just found it. I just found it laying here.
I'm gonna walk over to Socks. I'm assuming he's gonna give me the staff.
Well, he's not gonna keep it from you.
All right, I'm gonna grab it and then just kind of like look around to see if I see tracks or anything.
Give me a survival. With Socks' help. With Socks' help, you both start looking around since he just found this, and Krillock comes over and starts to help with looking in the area, seeing that the two of you have converged on one point, and you can see where there is a trail that looks like two larger creatures were being dragged in the direction of the river.
Following the trail.
All right. So you make it to the river, and obviously, once you hit the water, the trail is going to come to an end. And Socks is going to look back at Krillock with kind of like a almost like a deer in the headlights look, and Socks is going to reach up, and the two of you are close, but you're really close, but not in like a touchy way. Neither one of you are touchy people. Socks is going to reach up, and he's going to kind of put like an arm on your forearm, which is probably about what he could reach. He's gonna be like, buddy, we're gonna need some light if we're gonna follow him into the swamp, yeah?
I'm gonna pass the staff back to him. I'm going in.
Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Going in.
We can't do this now. Let's get the others. Let's at least get the others, bud. We can't do this. We can't do this in the
God.
dark. Not like this.
I'll have my goggles of the night on too, as I'm looking underwater and hold my breath.
So you're making your way towards the water at this point, right? Like you're getting ready to go through. Okay. All right, hold on. So you see as this tiny dart goes whizzing past you, like just over your shoulder, and you turn around and there's Socks with a blowgun. And he's like, deer to headlights, like, oh shit, I missed.
I'm gonna look away and just keep going.
Do something! He turns back to Carrick.
Oh boy.
You can't save him if you're dead, man.
You know he's right. If you go in there and we don't go properly prepared, all you're going to do is get yourself killed, and you're not going to be able to help him. We have to go prepared, or you're going to die for nothing. And then your uncle will die because you won't be there to save him. And it will be your mistake. Let's get the others, prepare, and we will get them. If they wanted him dead, he would be back there dead. They wanted him alive, which means he'll be alive when we get there. Hopefully.
5 hours
Go alone.
before sunlight, buddy. Just 5 hours, and Socks is gonna take off past Carrick, running for the others at this point.
I'm gonna stop about knee deep in water, and just kind of ponder on that for a minute.
I'll send my owl ahead to try to figure out where they are. He'll come back and he'll tell me what he can once he gets back. And then I'm going to motion for the owl, and it's going to shoot past you at full speed straight out into the swamp.
Turn around and walk by everybody, just not saying anything, just like head down, extremely just like still enraged here about everything, like not looking where I'm going. If anybody's in my way, they're just getting bumped out of the way and just walking straight back and finding like a stump to sit on just to ponder this.
As you start making your way back, you can still see his Socks is like frantically sprinting in the direction of everyone else, just yelling, Lily! Lily! All right. So
But yeah, he's sitting on the stump, and he's or whatever he could find to sit on, and just like his head in his hands, just can't believe what the just happened.
Okay. All right, so we are at 8 minutes to normal call time. The building has been evacuated, with the exception of corpses at this point. Effective triage has been put in place that saved the lives of 9 turtles that otherwise would have died.
I need a hero.
That was honestly a lot. That went a lot better than I thought that it was going to there, to be honest with you. As far as outcomes are concerned, this was probably that playthrough that you're shooting for, where like you want to get this is as close to a perfect game as we could have gotten. So I think we need to call it here. I think we need to pick it up from here next week.
The DM was trying to kill off all the turtles.
Yes, I hate turtles. almost as much as I hate loxodons.
And I will make sure that the owl knows to try to pick up the trail to try to find them, and so that we can have an idea where they're at, if not exactly where they're at.
That being said, with your previous perception check of the owl, knowing where the trail ended, I would go as far as to say that the owl has already come back and expressed that it has found the trail on the other side of the river. So you know where to start.
All right. Let's get us a good rest, and we'll come back first light. We got about 4 or 5 hours, and we'll go after it.
Does Sox come back?
Yeah, sure. Well, if Sox comes back, Sox is coming back with Lily because he went running his ass off to try to find her. And as soon as he got there, was Lily, he's going to the marsh. He's doing it on his own. He's trying to find him. They got his uncle. He's trying to kill him. He's gonna go kill him, but he's got his own, and I don't know what he's gonna do. He can't do it on his own. He's gonna die.
I just want Sox to come back so I get my staff back. I have plans for that.
Okay, well, as everyone at this point, I would assume, probably comes back to where Krillock is, because Sox is not coming back without everyone. And so, gathering the whole party, they would all converge at this point on where Krillock is currently brooding. And he would not approach, given the fact that the last time he saw Krillock, he tried to shoot him with a poison dart from a blowgun.
Not even worried about that.
Lily looks extremely pissed at Krillock.
And Krillock doesn't even notice because he's still furious.
Sox is still keeping a distance unless, like, he gestures him forward. He ain't moving.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
So Sox is going to approach slowly. And as you hold your hand out, he's going to reach out and, like, slick you some skin real quick. And then as you turn, he's going to be like, just kidding. And, like, hand it over.
I'm just going to hold it up to my chest and just brood.
You take a second to start your brooding, and then you feel as, like, these tiny arms sort of, like, start to wrap around you.
No, I was just...
I'm sorry, buddy.
I can't help but laugh at that. Like, you try to get in that mindset of, like, my uncle could be dead, and then this little ass fucking cobalt just going, "You all right there, big guy?"
Oh no, he's not even gonna ask that. He already knows the answer. It's literally just a sorry, buddy. That's it. That's all you're getting. He just wants you to know that he's there. All right. Do you want to catch we got like 4 minutes. Did you want to try to catch everybody else up in the party on this, or are we gonna start with that next time?
No, because I'm brooding.
Okay.
Dee Dee's gonna be over there talking to Carrot, like, "Oh my god, that was so cool that you blew that," because Dee Dee is 19, so he is kind of like recapping the whole situation now.
Well, it appears the lizards got away with Keck, God, Krillock's uncle, and one other young one. I don't really know who it was, but there's 2 of them that is gone, and I'm going to point the direction into the swamp that way. We are going to be going into the swamp at first light, so prepare yourselves. Yes, we need to first light gather what we need, and we're going to have to get going. And I'm just going to shake my head, and I'm going to start walking back towards the inn, and I'll give Krillock the hardest pat that I can on his shoulder as I walk by, and head towards the town. And I'll put my hand up, and the bird will come back, and as it lands on my hand, I'll just kind of close my hand, and it'll just kind of disappear. And that will be all that Krillock will do. He's going to go back and take a short rest and prepare the spells that he thinks he's going to need for tomorrow.
Lily's gonna pick up one of her tiny gears and throw it at Krillock's head. You stupid turtle! Why did you leave me on the boat? I'm sorry, that was loud.
So as Krillock is like deep brooding at this point, Socks just kind of like waves a hand backwards and it's like, stop, don't do it. And that's it. All right.
Socks is by far my favorite NPC now.
All right, so it's midnight Eastern time. We're done for tonight. We'll pick it back up Monday, provided that there's no issues or concerns that would prevent us from doing so. I did not update the schedule for tonight, so oops, my bad. So I'll make sure to do that for next time, but I will be posting up the new schedule. We do not have a Gabos this week, so Tiermora on Monday will be the next game, unless we decide to do some super fun, spontaneous one-page RPG at some point between now and then. In which case, we will tweet about it at Puffins of Doom on the Twitter, and check our schedule on the website.
Don't forget to follow that twat tweet.
Feel free to join us on Discord. A link can be found on our website that we keep talking about at www.puffinsofdoom.com.
We should probably throw one in the link down below.
Well, there is one in the cards down there. Yeah, down there diagonally from me. There's little cards that are flashing for characters that we put up there. There is a visual of the website link.
Oh yeah.
So, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. But thanks for those that stuck through it with us. And
it's also in our About tab.
It is in our About tab. We're out there, guys. We're out there. We're not great at the social medias, but we are totes out there. Totes. I'm gonna end this now.
Please do. You just said totes.
Tits.
I
Oh my
quit.
god.